Good evening, everyone. How are you doing tonight? Sim VIPs and Shaz, hello, hello. Glad to see you both over on Twitch. And to everyone over on YouTube, hello to you as well. What has been going on in everyone's life since last night? Anything exciting? Anything good? I walked, according to my walking app. Well, okay, according to my Pikmin app, I walked about 8,000 steps today, which is pretty good, considering I didn't actually set out to do any walking today. Does that make sense? Paul and I went to the dentist and we walked around. We looked at all of the Halloween things. We bought some Halloween things. And the dentist said that our teeth were absolutely fantastic. No problems, no fillings. They cleaned Paul's teeth a little bit, especially like in between some of his teeth, because they were, he was getting a little bit of plaque buildup. But other than that, absolutely no problems whatsoever. So it's all good. Dead Bees, hello, hello. How are you, Bees? You okay? Shaz, you didn't hear it, so you thought it wasn't streaming, but you had it muted. Yeah, I am live on YouTube. I think. I'm pretty sure that I'm live on YouTube. By the way, if any of y'all are over on YouTube, please do head over to my YouTube channel, to the live stream, like the live stream. Or if you're watching this as a VOD, like the VOD, because every 4 likes that we get on our live streams over on YouTube for the week, the week that they go live, equals £1 that I give to our charity of the year, which this year is Cats Protection UK. So you're helping me help Cats Protection UK find cats and kittens their forever homes. It's a really, really good thing to do. Also, I have a ulcer on the inside corner of my mouth, and it keeps catching on my teeth. So if I lisp a little bit or anything like that, or my mouth looks like it's in a funny angle, that's why. It's kind of painful, to be honest. It's not the best of things, but it's fine. Hello, Augie. How are you doing? And Rock, how are you? Muir on a Tuesday. This is an amazing day. It is an amazing day, isn't it? So just hi, Augie, over on YouTube. So just to reiterate what's going on tonight, we're playing The Sims 4. Tonight is a special live stream to take the place of Thursday's live stream, which isn't happening because I'm having board game night on Thursday this week instead of tonight. And there's no stream tomorrow either, because I'm going to be over on Tracker 57's channel, helping him out with his charity fundraiser. And since we're not having a live stream tomorrow, we are instead having tomorrow's live stream on Friday. Playing Sims 4, of course. So does that make sense? Basically, stream on tonight and Friday because there's no Wednesday or Thursday stream, okay? I think that makes sense. Oh, geez, my mouth is just absolutely in pain. Sims, you put up... Wait, hold on. I missed that. Something about a wound? What? Sim VIPs put a piece of gauze between the... Oh, no, I can't do that. Because it's like... Literally... I'm not going to show you, but it's literally... right there. On the inside of the corner of my mouth, like inside my mouth. I have an ulcer, and it keeps catching my teeth, or my teeth keep catching the ulcer. It's annoying, but normally I would have some, not Germaline, but Bonjela. And I think I've run out of Bonjela, to be honest. I don't have any on my desk. I normally have a little bit on my desk, but I don't tonight. So I'm gonna have to get some tomorrow or something. It'll be fine. Rock, congrats on your 55 stream streak. Seriously awesome. Shaz, nope, I don't have any clove oil either, unfortunately, but it's fine. I'll live. I will live. Shaz, yeah, of course, y'all are more than welcome to join Tracker 57's stream tomorrow night. 100%. Here on Twitch. Well, on Tracker's channel on Twitch. You know what I mean. Bees just get a new mouth. I know, right? I know. I just need a new mouth. That's it. Hi, Opting. How are you? Are you a little bit confused on the day there, Opting? Happy not Wednesday. Happy not Wednesday. Oh, okay. So let me show you all what I got today. All right. I bought myself one Halloween thing. Look at this. How freaking awesome is this? Bees EA New Mouth DLC, $299. Oh my god, I love it. VIPs, what is it? This is, hold on, let me actually turn it off. This is a Halloween potion bottle. It says dragon's blood on it. That's why I got this particular one, which I thought it was really cool. And on the top, it's got a little plastic skull and a fake cork to make it look like it's a potion bottle, an old-fashioned potion bottle. It's got a light inside, of course, and it's it's on a fake. It's glued on the stand, which is where the light is at, and inside the bottle is a little stirring stick, which is what causes the stuff inside to coruscate. So it's like a mixture of like red oil and shimmer dust. And then this bit up here is actually liquid as well. There's a little bit of dark liquid up here. And when it spins, it makes the the shimmery stuff, some of the black stuff mixes up with the red, which makes it look all shimmery even more. And yeah, it's just a really, really cool light. So I'll turn it back on. And I don't know if you all will be able to see it, but oh yeah, you can see it. There you go. You can see the shimmeriness, can't you? How cool is that? So, Chaz, you need this. It's awesome, isn't it? So I'm just going to put it over there. Where did I get that? I got that at a supermarket here in the UK called Morrison's. Hi, Smilebringer. How are you? Glad to see you. Shaz, the shimmer dust is mica powder, or it could be like luster dust, that you use in baking. That's used a lot. And yes, it is a lamp. It runs off batteries, but my housemate, Smile, thank you so much for the 65-month Prime resub. I really appreciate that. Primed for Muir. Oh, that sounds so wrong, Smile. That sounds very eyebrow wiggle wrong, but I'm here for it. Bees, you saw one of those at the Halloween store, but it was cone shaped and looked a lot cheaper. It is all plastic, that thing. But yeah, it was like 12 British pounds at Morrison's. And they had a few of them. They had like a blue one and a green one as well, I think. I just grabbed the red one. If I go back to Morrison's before Halloween is over, I might grab the other two just so that I have a complete set. But yeah, my housemate is going to turn it into a USB powered lamp. Because the batteries, I know for a fact, those batteries are going to go dead within a couple of hours. So I definitely want one that I can plug into to a USB port, It'll be really cool. Gurney, hello. How are you? Glad to see you. You found your tube, head back 2-pound bag of autumn mix. Ooh, autumn candies. You gotta love it. Smile, it's all plastic. That's what he said. I like it. I like it. Shaz, yeah, you can change it to a USB cord. Yep. My housemate's gonna do that because I have no freaking clue how to do any of that stuff. So, I'm just happy that it looks so cool. You know. Shaz, no comment. No comment to the it's all plastic. You know, sometimes. Anyway, okay. Are we ready to get into The Sims? Because that's what we're gonna do tonight. We are working on my Halloween build, which is it's an abandoned mansion or abandoned manor house, where illegal raves take place. So we're going to have, I'm going to put in a dance floor, and it's going to be very, dirty and run down and full of graffiti and all of that wonderful stuff. But the interior we're doing on Friday. Tonight we're doing the landscaping. So we're going to put trees and outdoor special effects to make it foggy and stuff like that. Shaz, on the grounds it will 100% incriminate you. We're all friends here, right? Let's go into the camera mode here. Oh, I already have these. Stop trying to sell me things I already have, game. Stop it. Your big collab today is today. You're so nervous, but that'll be in 5.5 hours. I hope it goes really well for you, bees. Good luck. VIPs, it's gonna be spooky. Yes, I'm gonna try to make it as spooky as I possibly can. Okay, so I need to go into, which one was it? Was it this one, the 2025 creation save? I think that's the one it was. I want to say it was this one. That's my scenarios. That's my actual stream. Okay, yeah, I think it was this one. I have so many saves. When you've got so many saves in a game that you can't remember what you were working on. Yeah, this is the one. It's in Moonwood Mill, which is your werewolves world. Shaz, yay, fog machines. Wind machines and fog machines. You gotta have both, right? Okay. Going into a build mode. Making it day. Because we definitely need it to be day. Shaz, yeah, it was the creation save, alright. Because I had a new look at the packs. Create a sim, yeah. Opting, sorry, where is it? It's in Moonwood Mills, in the werewolves world. A woo, and all that stuff. Bees, did I hear about the next DLC? Your sim gets to work for a foreign oil company in a magical desert land. Oh my god, bees. Hashtag too soon. Hype train! Woot woot! You have a limited time to earn exclusive. I'm reading what it says. Level 1 hype train, 31% of the way through it. Y'all have a you got 4.5 minutes to sub, gift, or cheer to earn special emotes. Chaz, no, the hype doesn't work. It used to, but for some reason it stopped working, and I don't know why. Augie, hype train alert. Thank you so much for the bits, Augie. I appreciate that, my friend. Okay. So, last week we I looked over all of this stuff, and we decided, that this was going to be like the entryway. This is the kitchen and servants' entrance. This was going to be like the dining hall. That was going to be the living room, the sitting room where the illegal rave dance floor is going to happen. And then up here we had the another sitting area, um, overlooking the entry. And then this was going to be a bedroom, and that was going to be a bedroom. So we've got all of that sorted. But that's what we determined last week. But right now, we want to concentrate on the exterior. So I'm thinking that I need to get my build node cheats up, is what I'm thinking. VIP, you saw that I have a mod that saves the game automatically. Do I? I honestly don't know if I do or not. I know that I had mods. Let me. Do I actually have my mods enabled? Awesome VIPs, thank you so much for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. That is seriously awesome of you. Okay. Opting, yay, Muir, cheer. Opting, I absolutely love you. Seriously. So yeah, let me just hold on. Other. Oh no, I don't have custom content and mods enabled right now. So I do not have anything that that has autosaves or anything. I believe that's MCCC though. I want to say MCCC allows you to. That's MC Command Center has automatic saves. I just don't have that right now. So. Let me go through. Augie, your Prime sub is not ready yet. Same with me. I was going to use my Prime sub last night on Lena's stream, but mine isn't available until the 15th, which, kind of sucks. I'm just saying. Bees, don't forget the foyer, parlor, antechamber, winter garden, balcony, wine cellar, and coach house. All of that has been, torn down over the years, fallen down because of all that wonderful stuff. And, yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that, my friend. Rock, thank you so much for the 245-bit cheer. Balls. Ed balls. We all love the balls, don't we? No, wait, what? I totally did not say that. I was doing cheats. That's what I was doing before I got distracted by balls and custom content. Let me hit all of my little cheaty buttons over here. There we go. I do have on my stream deck, I've got 2 handy buttons. One turns on move objects, and one does hidden objects and live edit objects, which is really nice. I have to admit. Smilebringer nuts. Shaz, weeks, not months. What? You haven't played CS4 in a couple of weeks, not months. It's weeks, but it feels like months, right? I completely feel you on that. Completely feel you on that. So yes, we did hit level 1 hype train. Thank you all so much for contributing to that. I appreciate that. And some of Smilebringer, yay! We celebrate you for contributing 1 sub point. Yes. But everyone who did bits, you all should hopefully have an emote or something. Maybe. Augie, whoops woo. McLeod, thank you for the lurk, my friend. I hope you enjoy your coffee break. I am a whore for swatches in The Sims 4, okay? Yes, that is 100% a quote. Ow. Okay, so let's start off with terrain tools. And I don't want anything that's like major, yeah, I don't really want anything that's like, huge or major or anything that's, but I do want, I'm thinking maybe adding the do or die, and Because we're not gonna have like, ooh, no, that needs to be softer. Hold on. Let's apply, turn up the softness a bit. So yeah, we're not gonna have like this stately entranceway. Because this is an old house. So what I'm gonna do is we kind of want the path, we want the paths to go from the stairs. So I'm going to do like a circle going across here. And I'm doing it like this because if you look at any, you know, stately mansion, they have these circular drives, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing here, is making these paths like reminiscent of the circular drives that you get in these stately mansion homes. And I think that will work. So we start off with the patchy do or die grass. Then maybe put some of this down. Just to make it, you know, super patchy. And by the way, this entire, the grass here is gonna be quite patchy and very overgrown and everything. This is what I'm picturing. I'm picturing lots of long grass and weeds and just loads of lovely stuff. Rock, you've hit 250 hours of playtime on The Sims 4. Nice. Bees. Don't forget the symmetry, mausoleum, gazebo, windows, porch, decorative fountain, and hedge maze. We can't forget the hedge maze, can we? I mean, you know, I don't think we're gonna have very much room for it all, but Smilebringer, how's Rock's Fortnite hours? Rock, you don't know how to check it on Xbox, but you're sure it's a lot more. I like it. Rock, how many Sims 4 playtime hours do I have? Well, you see, there's a little bit of a problem there. The playtime hours on the EA app isn't actually my playtime hours. Because when Sims 4 came out, it was on the Origin app. So I racked up several, you know, quite a few playtime hours on that. And then it got reset when it moved over to the EA app. Plus, yeah. So it's completely, I have no idea how many hours I played in this game. A lot. Let's just say an absolute lot. Now I am thinking, yeah, I know it's dangerous, of doing the some stone. Yeah, we'll do the some stone. And just like very gently put that here as well. Basically, what I'm trying to do is make it look like there's, you know, make it look a bit overgrown. So very gently putting in all of this stone here, and you know that there's gonna be stone here. That is definitely a given. That there probably used to be like a big stone circle here, and there's probably a fountain. So I'm gonna see if I can find like some kind of ruined fountain or something that will look like a ruined fountain that I can put like right here as a water feature. I also want to go back here and do some dirt. And just gently put patches of dirt here along the grass and all that wonderful stuff. Whoops, nope, not that much. It's fine. Happy little accidents. This is 100% Bob Ross. When you're painting landscaping in The Sims 4, you just have to channel your inner Bob Ross. That is how it is done. Honest. I wouldn't lie. Dead bees. I have to have a conservatory or winter garden on the side of the manor. Of course I do. Yeah. We'll just pretend that it's over there, right? Okay, you won't find a skeleton of a haunted rave because he had no body to go with. Opting the gazebo should have a carpeted roof. Oh my god. Y'all are enjoying side seat building, aren't you? Right, so let's see. Let's do smarter starter soil. And just go ahead and do this like so. I'm basically going to be doing this all over the garden. Okay, so that I think will do for this area right now. I'm going to very quickly go around and do my usual thing that I like to do, which is darken the areas along here. We're also going to need a bit of a path going across here. And there's a reason why I'm spreading this path out to either side. You'll see why in a bit once I get into all the debug stuff. Shaz, a ruined fountain would be tree and happy little trees. Yes. Rock, your Fortnite playtime is 39 days, 14 hours, and 42 minutes. That doesn't sound too bad, does it, when you put it in days? It's when you put it in hours that it's really bad. Roughly 927 hours, yeah. Bees, no, it's like an iron and glass dome attached to the side of the house, like Disney World's mansion. Oh my god. Like I said, ain't nobody got time for that. Chaz, the curtains from the werewolf pack will look... Yes, exactly. Rock, you can only imagine what your Minecraft Java Edition playtime is, but you don't believe you can check that without mods. I don't know. Would it be... No. I think you can check per save, but I don't think you can check just overall. Bees, it would create a cool big window room to see. That is true, but we are a little bit short on space here. Shaz. That's where the pea bushes will be, outside near the path. Yes, because the help had to go outside and use the pea bushes. Am I right? They couldn't use the toilets indoors. Oh no. They're the help. They get the bushes. Oh, no worries, Shaz. Give the doggos a pet for me. Little scritch behind the ears, you know. Now, I am going to, like... I kind of want a path going along here as well. You know, where these stairs are coming from the back of the house. So... definitely gonna do that. And then we'll bring back the stone and pavements and put in some stone. And then the dirt and the grass and flowers, and go scratchy and patches and do that. There we go. And then back to where's the starter soil? Nope, yes. I do this with every single build. I always do the landscaping, you know, where the building meets the ground. I always do this little bit of shading. It is a habit that I've gotten into, and it's just a habit that's always going to be there for me, I think. Rock, you can check in Minecraft, you can check in game days and also real life hours played independently per world. Okay, that makes sense. But not overall, yeah. Bees, it's 2025. Tell EA that sim lots need to fit an entire sim city. Ooh, have you seen what some builders can do on 64 by 64 lots? Oh my goodness. Um, like builders like Devin Bumpkin and I can't remember his name, but there was recently a builder that I watch who both of them created like an entire village on a 64 by 64 lot. And I'm just like, jeez. I would get bored. I would give up partway through of doing, you know, that. That's just wow. Rock, you could look at the playtime hours for your 2 most played single player worlds, combine them, and then you'd have an estimate. Yeah, that's true. Also, you've done like 2 live series. Next life was like 24-ish recording hours. I'm gonna have the hiccups. Hold on. No, I'm not. Never mind. And Cat Life was like 27 to 30. Okay. Recording hours. So did you do any gameplay on those in those live series without recording? Okay, so let me think. What do I want to do? I'm thinking maybe embiggening this circle and then just going around and think we'll put in some pine duff. Because that's what this right here is the pine duff. Because you can see there you go. See, that's the same thing. Let me, because I don't want anything quite that much. There we go. This will all look more cohesive once I've put, you know, trees and weeds and everything in. It will look much better. Trust me on this. Trust me. I wouldn't lie, right? Y'all trust me, right? By the way, we are listening to binaural beats genre on Epidemic Sound tonight, in case y'all are wondering what the music is. If you can even hear the music, because it's really low. There we go. Okay, so this is a start. This is definitely a start. Opting, I am, to be fair, very trustworthy. Why, thank you, Opting. I appreciate that. I really do. Okay, so I think we can say that trees like this are a no-go because these are like desert plants, and this is definitely not a desert. So we can do things like the pine tree, the dry pine tree, that is. I think I'll make it, we'll put, trying to think. So this is the entrance. I kind of want tall things to be in the back and shorter things to be in the front, just so that, you know, to give us a more cohesive look, so that our vision, you know, automatically goes from front to back and encompasses everything. So I'm thinking if I put that tree there and then shrink it down and maybe put one there, but the different, yeah, that works. Yeah, that looks pretty good so far. Okay, it's good. It's good. Update, there is a scene in the mockumentary Hardcore Logo. Oh my god, I almost misread that as Lego. Hardcore Lego. Where the titular punk band drops acid and sacrifices a goat. This is basically the music from that. Okay. Rock Prowler's Patch, more like Pogger Patch, or something. Right. So, we don't want the wishing tree. This tree is a definite must. We gotta have the scragglies. Wanting to make sure that it doesn't clip in to the house. There we go. Now, can I make this tree big? Ooh, yeah, we can definitely make it bigger. And we'll put it over here in this corner. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then we've got the dead mesquite tree, but again, that is a I mean, it's a nice tree, but you don't find mesquite in this type of wood, you know, wooded area. So probably not. Palm trees or no. Elm trees. Yeah, we can put an elm tree in. Because, you know, having a few live trees here and there is probably a good idea. But I don't want it on this side because there aren't very many elms over there. There are some elms over here, though, so we can 100% put it over here. I'll just put that right there. That should work. Now, I am probably going to put, like, too many trees in here. And the reason why there's going to be too many trees, and I am doing this on purpose, you know, putting too many trees in. Let's see, how much can I get this off the lot? Are you going to be really nice to me, game? Come on. I think that's the farthest it's going to let me put it off lot. Okay, that's fine. By the way, did you all know you can do that? With certain things like this, if it's got like a really large footprint, if you alt place it, it will let you put it partly out of the lot. So you can totally do that. And I'm thinking that putting it over there is a good thing. I know I said I want to keep like the taller things in the back. So actually, to be honest with you, we should probably move that over here. Yeah, that works. It's all good. It's good. Bees, The Sims really bungled a good opportunity. They partner with Disney to bring a Star Wars, but no Disney part. I know, right? I mean, to be honest, the Star Wars Batu that they partnered with Disney to bring that DLC out, it is based very much on the Star Wars area of Disney Park. I think the Florida, you know, park, Universal Studios, whatever you want to call it. It is based very closely on the actual theme park and what it looks like and everything. So technically, you could consider it to be Disney theme park DLC, but I agree with you. We definitely need a world that is nothing but theme park, because that would be really cool. Just have like a 128 by 128 lot in the middle of the world that is just this huge theme park. I would go for that. I would 100% go for that. Hi, Shaz. Welcome back. You doing okay? So then we got this really, really tall pine tree. And I'm thinking of putting... We'll grab a couple of them. And put in, like, maybe there. And then maybe a small one right next to that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. I will take a look at this later on and we'll see what it looks like, because basically what I want is I kind of want the back to blend in with the with the woods, basically, to be like a small extension of the woods, so that maybe you're thinking, okay, the back has been like very overgrown for like 100 years or something, and you know the manor house has been deserted for quite a long time, or at least not being the lands haven't been kept up for a very long time. Toasty, hello, how you doing? Glad to see ya. Shaz, you had to get the mail before you forgot again. You check it or try to once a week, and your steel sleepers for your ears have arrived. Oh, nice. You had to get them before the snails and slugs got to them. Oh dear. Yeah, definitely a good idea there, though. There. Pardon me, hiccups. Bees, imagine assets from New Orleans Square and 1901 Main Street, retro futuristic Tomorrowland, the wild decor of Toontown, the fairy tale appeal of Fantasyland, and the Old West Frontierland. I know, right? Like I said, I would love that. Just give me a world, or give us a world in The Sims 4 that has right in the middle a 128 by 128 lot that is a huge theme park. And then we can have like maybe a couple of lots surrounding it that can be like smaller business lots or housing lots or whatever. But that a 128 by 128 lot, that would be freaking awesome. Ruck, Minecraft Java Edition, roughly, at least as of like the past year or two, you've played about 225 hours ish. Wow, that is, yeah, that is like that's inaccurate. So definitely more than that. Shaz, you order some copper tape, so it'll come tomorrow, and you'll take up the bottom of the letterbox to keep them away. Does copper work for slugs and snails? Toasty, you're doing good. Aw, glad to hear it. All right, so what else do we have here? We've got Bramblewood's Delightful Tree, but I'm thinking that's a bit too happy for here. We don't want those. We've got the American Beech. Now, there is definitely a beech tree. You can see it right there. So I can 100% put a beech tree here. And what I'm going to do is put the beech tree there. Yeah, that will work. And then I love these cypress trees. And what I'm going to do, I really wish they came in a dead swatch though. But I'm thinking what I can do is put for now, I'm going to put them like this, because you know in stately homes, they always have the driveway ringed by cypress trees. And I want to make sure that I've got that these are put in properly to make semicircles. There we go. Okay, that will work. And I will probably, as if we come up with trees that look a little bit more old and ratty, I will, trade these out. Actually, can I shrink these here in the front? Yes, I can. That works. Okay. Shaz, you've not tried it before, but you Googled it, and everything that you've read suggested can be swept away from the rain, so it seemed the only thing to try. That makes sense, yeah. You'll let me know. Yeah, definitely. Shaz, are they going to drive up the stairs? 100%, yes. These old man yells at Cloud moment. EA, give us a real mid-century modern DLC and not fake millennial MCM stuff. Oh, I would love a mid-century modern deal. Actually proper. A whole kit that is nothing but mid-century modern. That would be so cool. Or not kit. Pack. It'd have to be a little bit more than just a kit. Let's see. We've got these regular pine trees. And again... yeah, we got pine trees over here. So I can totally kind of put a tree there. I will get rid of some of these trees, most likely. I always start off with like more trees than I need, and then end up, parsing them out a little bit. We don't need bamboo. The dry pine might look good. I always start off with more than I need. There is, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to put too much stuff. I'm just the opposite. It's like I will put everything that I like in a build. It's like if I see a tree and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll put this tree in, then I'll put it in. Ooh, a birch tree. Yeah, birch. Definitely need a birch tree. In fact, we need a couple of birch trees. Birch trees are like my favorite type of tree in real life. I love birch trees and willows. I always try to put a birch tree in my builds if I remember to do so and if I can afford it. I just absolutely love them. Shaz, you will not use snail repellent? Oh no, same, definitely, yeah. The slug pellets are not only bad for the slugs and snails are they're necessary. They do good things in your garden. They help keep your garden nice and rich and fresh. And they're good. They are good for your garden. But obviously they're not nice to like step on and stuff like that, and you don't want too many of them. But if you put slug repellent or slug pellets down that kill off the snails and slugs, then the wildlife that eats the snails and slugs will eat the poison snails and slugs, and they will get poisoned. Or you might have might get birds eating the pellets themselves because they think it's bird food. Or ants or other living creatures might eat the pellets. Neighborhood cats, stray dogs, foxes, all that stuff. So yeah, stay away from slug pellets. They're no good. They're definitely not any good. Smilebringer, this music is like meditation music. It's really soothing, isn't it? It's just so nice. This is binaural beats over on Epidemic Sound. I love binaural beats music. It's just so relaxing. Beats, for the record, you dumped a ton of photos of real mid-century modern furniture that you've seen in real life and scans of your actual 1972 catalogs into the Sims official Discord, and no one cared. No! That is so sad. They should be ashamed of themselves. I've said it. I'm saying it. They should 100% be ashamed of themselves. Shaz, you're a Japanese maple fan? Yes, same. Get me, I like, if you take regular maples and Japanese maples and you plant them together, you have like almost a year-round rainbow of red, yellow, and green that just kind of, they just switch back and forth, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so what was I doing? Hold on, I got an itchy nose. Oh, yeah, we got this small pine tree from Granite Falls. That is very, very cool. I'm going to be using a lot of Granite Falls stuff in this build, even though it's Granite Falls. We're not in Granite Falls, but Granite Falls stuff really lends itself to this world as well, because this is, primarily a pine forest that Moonwood Mill is in, and so having all of the pine trees and everything just makes sense in my brain. Right, where was it? Because I've just lost track of where I was in these trees. Oh, here we are. Augie, what about puppy dog tails? That's the cauldron. That is 100% the cauldron, and unfortunately, we're not to placing cauldrons yet. We have to put a cauldron in though, because it's Halloween. It's the law, you know? It is kinda sorta the law. You know what? I don't want that so big. Can I shrink that down a little bit? And like maybe put it there? Yes, yes I can. That will work. Right, so let's see. None of that, none of that. The luminous leaf, I love this tree, but it is not for this build. But I absolutely love this tree. This is from the businesses and hobbies pack, and the fact that it's got the lights on it is just so pretty. But yeah, it's not for this build. We also have this really large oak tree, and I think I'm gonna leave the oak tree out. It's just too big. Here's your Japanese beech tree, another very pretty tree, but again, I'm leaving it out. The ponderosa pine might work, like right back here. Hold on. Maybe there. If I shrink it down, one. Yeah, I can put it right there. Yeah, that kind of that works, I think. Actually, you know what? I think if I grab a hold of it carefully, I can pull it back a little bit. Yeah, I like that a lot better. That's good. These, you are overcome with a petty urge to make a Sims for mid-century modern mod when you learn game development and never publicly release it. You give it to me though, right, Bees? You'd give it to me. Shaz, you need toast. You may have to have a lounge room picnic later. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Augie, you mentioned slugs and snails, so we need puppy dog tails. Very, very true. And now I've got Dance Magic Dance in my head. Thunder and lightning and baby said, dance, dance, magic, dance, dance, sorry. Shaz, there's one like that that has no leaves, but it has lights on it, and you love it. Bees, folklore, only witches use cauldrons. Actual medieval taverns? Oh darn, guess we better dump the stew. Shaz, a picnic on at your coffee table. I mean, it sounds like fun to me. Bees, pants, magic pants. Augie, you're welcome. Yeah, okay. You did that on purpose then. Is that what you're saying, Augie? That you did that on purpose? Where should I put this? Maybe there. And then if I can grab a hold of it again, are you gonna let me grab it? Let me grab it. There you go. Move that forward a little bit. Yeah, I think I know that in real life trees don't normally grow this close together, but in The Sims, I really think that it adds a little bit of, you know, a bit of moodiness to the whole thing. And I'm thinking of moving that there. Oh, by the way, there in debug, there is actually some treetops, you know, debug treetops that you can get that aren't connected to a tree trunk. And if you size them down, you can use them on like these dead trees to make bespoke trees in The Sims. And it's really cool. It is absolutely loads of fun to do. Bowie definitely had some magic pants in that move. Oh my god, yes. 100% magic pants. That was one of the main reasons I watched that movie. What? Don't you judge me. Don't you do it. Don't judge me. Let's see. Can I put that there? And then move that forward. Yeah, that works very nicely. The glass orbs weren't the only special spheres. Oh my god. Shaz, he had a cod piece. Yeah, he did. Most likely, anyway. But still, you know, if you know, you know, right? Okay, so let's see. I'm thinking of putting this over here. Where'd the tree go? There it is. And would it work there? If I put that, ooh, yeah, that would work very nicely. I'm thinking of a little pond over here, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to move these trees in, but yeah, a little tiny pond here would look really nice. Especially with this gnarled oak going over the top. Or I could use this as like an old picnic area. I'm not sure which yet. Hold my beer, and I'll think about it. We also have this weeping willow, but I don't think I'm gonna use the weeping willow. I normally do, but this time, no. Okay, so let's move into shrubs. A shrub is a guy who can't get no love from me. Sorry. 100% using this tall grass, like, all over the place. So we're gonna put a mixture of the dry and the regular tall grass. Bees, the poor actress had to maintain eye contact. She was like, I cannot remember her name. The actress who played alongside, co-starred with them. My brain is just 100% not letting me think of her name. She went on to I mean, she became a pretty famous actress. Rock, a shrub is a plant that can't get no love from me. It was right there. Exactly. Augie, yes, Jennifer Connelly. Yes. That's the person. You had a big crush on Jennifer Connelly. So, I know that she went on to star in several films and such. But to be honest, I cannot think of any films that she was in. Do any of you know what she starred in? You know what other films she was in? Like I said, my brain is just not letting me think of it right now. I did think that she was a really, really good actress, though. Absolutely love her. So yeah, I'm just putting in a bunch of grass just here and there. This is not going to be a cheap build, and it's also not going to be a build that a lot of people are going to be able to download and use for themselves, because I'm not censoring myself on the amount of packs that I use on this. just not censoring myself at all. I'm basically just putting in any amount of packs that I want. If you haven't noticed. think that will work for now. Actually, I do want to put another one of these, maybe there, overlapping the dry grass as well. Okay, that looks pretty good. But yeah, if you all know of what of all the different films that Jennifer Connelly was in, I know she was in a lot, but my brain is like just can't think of any off the top of my head. Augie, Top Gun Maverick, yes. Wait, she was in Spider-Man Homecoming? Okay, I did not know that. I knew she was in Hulk, but I did not know she was in Spider-Man Homecoming. And then she was also in A Beautiful Mind. Okay, that's really cool. I am putting some grass leading up to the, you know, like on the porches and stuff as well. And I am probably going to put grass and stuff inside the house, obviously, because we kind of have to with it being overgrown and stuff. So remind me when we actually start with the build itself to put, you know, grass and stuff inside. And in case you all are like wondering what the method is of you know, the placement of all of this grass and stuff, there is no rhyme or reason. I'm literally just grabbing the grasses, rotating them a few times, and just placing them willy-nilly here and there, not really paying too much attention. I do want to put the wild grass here, just here and there as well. I don't want to put too much of this because it is very cultivated wild grass. So I'm thinking put one, actually put that there. And then maybe one there. Whoops, I did not want to take a screenshot, but that's fine. Let's see. We do have this dry rose bush, which I definitely want to put a few of them out here. Not many. I just like one or two, maybe three of these dry rose bushes. Just to make it look, you know, give you hints of what this place used to look like. Creeping thorns are a must. We kind of... I tend to, on like abandoned builds, I tend to put creeping thorns like all over the place. Yay for Vampire Pack is all I can say. Just yay for the Vampire Pack. Augie, good old IMDb. IMDb to the rescue. Definitely. Now... I think that'll look okay. And then... You know what? Yeah, that... You get the idea of what I'm kind of going for here, right? Kind of wanting it to look like the thorns are... growing down the stairs. The only problem is, obviously, it's a bit difficult to do, to make it look like the thorns are coming, you know, growing down the stairs because of the way that the thorns work. I do wish that we had swatches or, you know, plants that conform themselves to stairs. That would be just really nice. But we don't. So, unfortunately, I kind of have to deal with it. It'll be good. Chaz, you saw her in the spirit series of Snowpiercer. She's a bad guy. And what is Snowpiercer? I have to admit, I have never heard of that series. Huggy, leave your willy-nilly out of this. Oh dear. Oh dear. What do you like? So unkempt shrubbery. Now I'm thinking that, you know, we need a lot of these fancy places, you know, they did have shrubs. You know, cultured, trimmed bushes. They liked trimming their bushes. They really did like trimming their bushes. So I'm thinking a few unkempt bushes here and there. Just like going along the front of the house. Not over here, because over here I'm still thinking of a pond. So no unkempt bushes over there. But I will put one there. Augie, is this building inhabited by the knights who say ni? No, it's completely uninhabited, but I cannot confirm or deny one way or the other that the knights who said ni did not at one point in time live at this mansion. So, can neither confirm nor deny this fact. Okay, so ferns. Now, ferns generally like living amongst trees. So we're gonna put the ferns back here. And amongst these trees here. Nice mixture of the forest ferns and the painted ferns. There we go. And, no, we don't want the ground fern. And then maybe taking some of these ferns and shrinking them down a bit. Just to make it look, you know, like you've got new baby ferns as well as the older ferns. Okay, I think that will work. These, it isn't the 70s anymore, so naturally they love trimming. Chaz, Snowpiercer is a futuristic movie, then series, about a train after the world is frozen and the train never stops. That sounds like a video game. There is literally a video game that has that premise where it's a survival game and you're on a train and it's like the world is frozen and you have to keep the train warm and you build on the train and you jump off the train every so often to like grab wood and stuff, and then you have to jump back on the train. There's a literal video game about that. I'm wondering if the series or the TV show or the movie rather is where they got that idea from. It wouldn't surprise me. Yellow flowers. I am thinking that yes, we will grab some of these. The low-lying pale yellow flowers. Again, here and there. I tend to use these a lot in my builds. I don't know why. I just love these flowers. They're so pretty. And they work in pretty much every build. Actually, I think I'll put those there. There's a few of these. You know, the low-lying pale yellow flowers. There's a few of similar ones from other packs that I also enjoy using the living daylights out of. So I'm not gonna put like, I'm not gonna go overboard because I also want to use the other ones. So I think we'll leave that there. What else do we have? The Granite Falls shrub. Yeah, we can do a shrubbery. Little shrub there. And maybe a little shrub there. We can have a bulbous bush. A nice big round double bulbous bush there. I can't say bulbous bush very well. It's fine. It's fine. Chaz, your alarm went off 10 minutes ago. Oops. Which alarm? Why alarm? I mean, it's kind of alarming that your alarm went off. I am so sorry. Not sorry. Why am I saying I'm sorry? I am 100% not sorry. Ooh, an unkempt tall shrubbery. Yeah, we'll just, you know, put that right there, right next to the two bulbous bushes. Maybe there. Shaz, Augie is streaming in an hour usually on a Wednesday. Ah, but it's not Wednesday today. There we go. Then we've got this do I want a hedgerow? You know what? I'm thinking we want a hedgerow. This nice hedgerow here, and then we'll put another one there. There's not enough, actually, you know what? I'll put one there as well. I like the idea that there's, like, broken hedgerows just here and there to you know, like I said, give you that idea that, there might have been, you know, a decent-looking hedge that went around this property at one point. Obviously, there isn't one there anymore because, yeah, the woods have taken over and all of that wonderful stuff. But having a few little hints here and there is a good idea. There we go. Sims, can I put some Halloween stuff? Like, oh yeah. We can totally do that as well. Yeah, your cider. Yeah. Yep. 0% cider. I know. Did you enjoy it? Yeah. Okay. Yes, Paul. 0%. Y'all know that Paul had a cider tonight, by the way. 0% cider. I should add. 100% 0% cider. I'm thinking, yeah, we can put some green grass there. I don't want to put like too much grass around because I don't know if your Sims can actually walk through the grass and stuff. I think they can, but I am gonna move things around a little bit here so that it's clipping into the house, but that's fine. But yeah, I'm moving things in a little bit so that at least there's, you know, a way to get into the house. So that's fine. Shaz, oh, it is Wednesday where you're at. That's right. You live in the future. I always forget that. Yes, Paul. You're all glittery because you keep using my body butter. Yeah. Everyone's saying hi to you, Paul. Yeah, you like the Halloween bottle. No, you can't have it. Yeah, if you want one, you can buy one. We can go back to Morrison's. over half term if you want. Yes, Paul. Yes, you've got. You're going out on Friday. I know. Yeah. You might do, mate. You might do. You go and relax now. Yes, Paul. I know, honey. You might do, yeah. You go and play now. He's gonna come right back. I betcha. Nope, nope, he did not. He usually, like, for those of you who've never met Paul before, Paul is my son. He's 23. He's severely autistic. He's an absolute sweetie. But he loves talking about things that has happened during the day, and that I was there for, and things that is going to happen, and he just likes, let's put a little, make these bulbous bushes a little bit, on the spiky side. Definitely needs pruning. These bushes, 100%. But yeah, and he likes checking in at night, especially like while I'm live streaming, and he has a chat and a little bit of a natter. Like I said, he's a sweetie. Okay, so I am thinking of putting a convenient bush here. Just because I remember us saying, joking around about the help that, the servants that used to work here not being allowed to use the indoor privy. So, they got they got their own bush outside. So we've done that. We have done that. Rock, can I say to Paul that Rock asked if he likes Furbies? He's already upstairs. He actually didn't. I mean, he talked to me about Furbies like constantly, but he didn't. He hasn't said anything about Furbies since we got home, and I have to admit, I am very, very surprised. Sim VIPs, you have autism as well, so you know how it is. Yeah, like I said, he's a sweetheart. He just likes info dumping, which, is absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with a bit of info dumping. We do have this alien root. What do you all think? I'm not always certain about whether or not we should use I should use these the alien plants, because they don't really look like any other plant, or any other tree. So like if I put it here, it doesn't quite match. It might match the birch trees a little bit, but again, not really. So I'm very tempted to just leave this root bit out, so not use it. Again, with same thing with this red alien shrub. Now this I will use. Like if I have maple trees, I will use this as to like represent leaves having fallen around the maple tree. But I think in this build, we're gonna leave it out. This I might use inside as like mold, because this does very much represent or look like, mushroom spores or mold growing. So we will probably use that indoors, but not now, not outside. Same with these. I don't think we'll use those. Rock, did you know insert thing that that Paul saw me do today? Yeah. Or thing that I saw Paul do is usually what it is. He's like, "Oh, Muir, I did this today," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know, Paul. I was there." Absolute sweetheart, like I said. He's like, oh, what was it? The other day, him and I went for a walk, and he came home. After we came home later on that night, he's like, Muir, I walked around the duck pond. And I'm like, yeah, Paul, I know. I know you walked around the duck pond because I was there. I saw you, mate. So did I, you know. Like I said, absolute sweet young lad. Augie, you had your daughter's parents' evening tonight. Ooh, how did it go? So these oopsie-daisies are another plant that I absolutely love using in any build. Any build at all that has trees. I just tend to use these oopsie-daisies all over the place, like in every single swatch as well. So I'm gonna do the same thing here, and I'm just gonna put them, you know, here and there, around the lot. The thing about The Sims is you're probably thinking, well, you know, it doesn't make sense to put all of these plants like all over the place because in real life they wouldn't quite grow like this, which that is very, very true. They would not grow. You know, these flowers would not grow quite like this. But in The Sims, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter too much. So I just love using the oopsie-daisies and the other, you know, low-lying yellow flowers and all of that stuff just all over the place. Because I think it makes the build look a little bit more, you know, the landscaping that is, look a bit more prettified and filled and just nice, you know? Augie, the parents' night went amazing. Your daughter has autism and is in an SEN school. Yep. They say that she has so much personality and confidence and can work independently in some areas and is really flying. Oh, that's so sweet. It sounds like she's doing really, really well. Glad to hear it. It's really nice when you can, you know, you find a school that your child vibes with and grows, you know? It really is. These forest flowers I also love, and I wish that I could put them up here. Actually, you know what? I can. I'm gonna put some there. I completely go overboard when it comes to putting plants out in The Sims. I just go nuts. If I don't have to worry about money in this game, I just go whole hog, you know? Just every place that I can put flowers, I put flowers. We've got the canyon wildflowers. Yeah, you know what? I am tempted to put these here as well. So why not, right? Why not indeed? Actually, I'm going to put these on this end because I kind of want to keep like this whole section open so that Sims can use that as a woohoo bush. You gotta have a woohoo bush or 5 in your builds, right? If you know, you know. Rock, that is totally a Pogger moment. I will agree with that. That is 100% a Pogger moment. Yes. Do I want to put... Hold on, let me zoom in really, really close here. So I can... Yeah, there we go. think we'll put some along the corner here. Another thing I like to do, I'm giving you all loads of tips. It's the teacher in me is coming out here. But another thing I like to do is you notice how flowers like this have these like bold patches here. So I like putting them up against the corners of houses where that bulb patch is so that it kind of looks like they're growing around the corner. And I'll do the same thing, like, you know, along roots of trees for flowers as well. I think it just makes so much sense to do that. See, like right there. There we go. Fits in perfectly, nestles around the base of the tree, and it just looks so nice, doesn't it? Now, I do wish that I could put the plants, you know, some flowers on this side, but without the tool mod, unfortunately, I can't do it. So, Dr. Squidge, hello! And we've got, oh, wait, a cold raid. We got a cold raid. Cold Night Chaos, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the channel, everyone. How are you doing? Rock, how do I get my Sims to Woohoo and Bushes? Is it a specific pack you don't have? So the bushes are your convenient bush. That's the base game one, the convenient bush. You look for that bush, and you can click on it with your sim, and if they have another sim with them, they'll be able to woohoo in it, or use it as a toilet, or nap in it. So that's all of that stuff. But how was your stream, Cold Night? Was it good? What were you doing? You were playing Twisted Gallery. Okay, what is Twisted Gallery? You're gonna have to let me know what that is. I have no idea. By the way, everyone from Cold Night Chaos's channel, welcome in to mine. I'm Merely Sims, and in case you didn't guess it, I play The Sims. Tonight, we are building an abandoned house. We're working on the exterior. This is so far what we've got going. So we've got a nice abandoned manor house here, you know, broken windows, the whole lot, holes in the roof, so on and so forth. And right now I'm working on the landscaping. On Friday, I'm going to be working on the interior of the house and decorating it up to make it look even more, you know, run down and grotty and just all sorts of wonderful things on the inside as well. So really, really enjoying it. Chaos, it's one of those find the anomaly type games. Oh, okay, cool. Those kind of games are always fun. They really are. Uruk, you might have to add some of those bushes just around your lot because it's funny. Totally, yes, 100%. You gotta. Squidge, this is a cool looking build. Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you like it. Right now, like I said, I'm going over the landscaping, adding way too many flowers. Way too many flowers, way too many trees and everything else, as you do in The Sims. Because if you can't add too many flowers and everything, then, you know, you've made some wrong choices in your life. That's kind of my outlook on landscaping in The Sims, is there's never such a thing as too much. Ooh, where do I want to put this? I think around this tree, because that tree hasn't had anything put around it yet. So we'll do that. And maybe over here, put some flowers in this area. Mix them up a little bit with the weeds and everything. There we go. Looking good. This side is looking a little bit sparse, but don't worry, I'm going to fill it up with things as we go along. It'll be fun. Augie, if it's abandoned, it will be overgrown. Yes, this is very true. Rock, so far other than normal beds in The Sims, you've discovered how to make them woohoo in rocket ships, hot tubs, and crypts. Yep. But the first 2 of which sound like base game features, so it's not too crazy. Oh yeah, there's loads. There's absolute loads of woohoo spots in The Sims 4. It's so much fun. If y'all like to like woohooing in The Sims 4, give me the a nice love heart, you know? We love all the different new and wonderful places to woohoo in The Sims. I mean, who doesn't? I am gonna put some. We got these yellow wildflowers, so I'm thinking of filling in this area a bit more. So we'll definitely do that. Ruck, when Love Struck came out, I watched the trailer and I was like, oh my, yeah. The fact that with Love Struck, yeah, you can woohoo in so many different places. It's just so mad. Absolutely nuts. And I love it. I don't want pink flowers. How about purple? Not purple being my favorite color or anything, you know. Can you tell? Pleasant purple flowers, yeah, we'll put, otherwise known as lavender. We will put a few lavender bushes around here and there. Not that we don't have like 5 different types of lavender flowers in The Sims 4. Not complaining. I am not complaining. I love lavender. Lavender is just such a pretty and beautifully smelling plant. It really is. I mean, I put so many trees in the build that I literally have to zoom in real close to put anything down, just because there's literally like no space here. I have no space for anything to. I can't say. It's a first world problem. It really is, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, what other flowers can we put in? Bees, you have chronic gingivitis and you're about to brush your teeth. Pray for you. I am so sorry, Bees. May the Lord of toothbrushes shine upon you. What? Alien mushrooms, yes or no? Should I put the alien mushrooms in? What do you all think? Because I am tempted to shrink them way down and like put a few of them nestled up in the dead trees, especially because that's what real mushrooms are like. So if we put like, I don't want to overdo it, but if I put like a couple of these alien mushrooms down, just shrink them right down and just put them just along those 2 trees, maybe. Maybe it won't be too much. Let's see. We also have the, oh my god, I love these. These, look at these. How awesome are these flowers? They're so freaking gorgeous. I'm 100% putting that there. And I'm also going to put them there. Not me blocking the mailbox, but it's quite all right because this is not meant to be a house that you live in. I don't care if you can reach the mailbox. I really don't. Okay, so then we've got these irises, and yeah, now we've got we're doing the little plants now, the tiny little plants. So I kind of want to put. I'm gonna put these like in the front. I gotta think. I really need to think here about these last few flowers. You know, the placements of. No, that doesn't look right. Yeah, that's good. Because it's like, I like having these flowers here and there. And irises, irises are bulb flowers. And once you put down bulb flowers, they tend to go just absolutely nuts. And you get like these clumps of flowers. Like this. Because bulbs, I'm guessing. I am really guessing here, but I'm guessing a lot of you know what I'm talking about with bulb plants. So bulbs, bulb flowers or plants, when they don't go to seed. Instead, the bulbs, they're like cells. They multiply and they divide. And so you have one bulb, and from that one bulb you can get like 4, 5, 6 or more small bulbs that come off the mother bulb. It's just how plants work. How bulb plants work anyway. And you always get, after they've been let to go wild, you always get these clumps, because the bulbs will gradually spread out. It's a really weird way that plants behave. I love it, but it's just so weird. And if you know, if you know, you know. So, Rock, if you think that Love Struck brought in so many loads of woohoo spots, the Life and Death and the Adventure Awaits, Enchanted by Nature. The Life and Death and Enchanted by Nature brought even more woohoo spots, because Life and Death brought about your ghost as a playable occult, an actual occult. And with a ghost sim, thanks to Life and Death Pack, you can woohoo in pretty much everything as a ghost. Do you have a horse, and has the horse pooped? You can woohoo in that. I wish I was kidding. I really wish that I was kidding, but I am not. It is 100% a thing that can happen in The Sims. So we are gonna put some thistles down here and there. Just nestled, every just here and there and everywhere. I'm not a huge thistle fan, because these do not look like any thistles that I've ever seen, but they are pretty, so I will add them a little bit here and there. Now, this hedge I also love. It is base game. I am not adding it into this, but it's still a very pretty thing. I am going to add all of these beautiful, like, hollyhocks and stuff. Just along here. Let's see if I can get that a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Augie, what if you don't know? Then you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know, and I'm not gonna blame you for not knowing, You want only a few because this'll do? This'll do? Oh, Augie, that's bad. That is so bad. By the way, everyone, this is your reminder. If you are enjoying this live stream, please, and if you're over on YouTube, please do hit that thumbs up button, because we do a thing on this channel where every 4 likes equals £1 that I give to our charity of the year. So your likes during our live streams and during the live stream, during the week that the VOD is up, or the week after the VOD is up, your likes do matter. And they do have an effect on real world things, which is pretty freaking awesome, I think, anyway. So yes, do the likes, and help the kitties, because we all love kitties here, right? I love kitties. Kitties are awesome. Let's do this delphinium, and I'll put like one there, and then maybe, nope, there we go, one there. We'll put a delphinium there as well, and then maybe there. Perfect. And I think we've got a pretty good pretty nice little garden-y thing going on here. There we go. It looks nice. I'm not gonna do the this or anything because it's a little bit too, just a bit too much. So even for me, it's too much. Shaz Raffle. Now, for the pond. And I am tempted to go with the grotto rock here. And what I'm gonna do is take this grotto rock, and I'm going to just go around and make a bit of a... What's the word? A perimeter. That's what I was looking for. A bit of a perimeter. I'm also going to use some of these cove rocks. Like I said, just make a little bit of a perimeter of a pond. Now let's do another big one here. And then we can use these little these cove stone clusters to go just here and kind of make a little bit of a... Yeah, that... Actually, a little bit more. That looks pretty good, I think. I don't want it to go all the way around. I don't want it to ring. But I think that will look good. So let me go into terrain tools, terrain manipulation, lower terrain, shrink the circle. Whoops, I want it soft, but I want the circle to be shrunk down to just there. Are we ready for this? Fingers crossed that this works. Okay, that worked a little bit better than I was hoping for. That's actually really good. Okay. So now I want to do the water tool, and we want to fill to height. Oh, nope, that's too much. Perfect. That looks good. That definitely looks good. And then I want to go to... I can never remember where the water thing is. Is it pools and fountains? No, it's outdoor water decor. That's it. That's it. So I want this to be pond water. We don't want this to be pretty. We want this to be like, actually, let's make it pond scum. We want this to be like horrible, ugly, you know, disgusting, murky water. So the pond scum, I think, will work the best. And then if I go back to terrain tools and I use the rock storm. Whoops, too big. There we go. Too soft. Let's make it a little bit not as soft. So basically I'm painting the inside of the pond, so that it's like rocky all the way up, or at least as rocky as I can get it to look. There we go. And then I want to get the mud in, the muddy mud. Shrink the circle down even more and just muddy it up. So we've got this going on. There we go. Nice. That definitely looks gross, doesn't it? I like it. I definitely like it. Sims, can I put a crocodile? You know what? In this neighborhood, yes. Yes, I can. I can 100% put a crocodile in this. So let's see. Pond objects. We have to put a bog log. So I'm thinking the bog log can go right here. So we got the bog log. Then we'll do... Let's put the fishing allowed sign pre-stocked. Because, you know, it would be nice to be able to fish. Although, whether you want to fish in this pond with a crocodile in it, I'm not sure. But I'm sure that you know, there's nothing wrong with it. Everything will be fine. There's absolutely no cause for concern here at all. Shaz, bog log is something found in a toy. It does sound like that, doesn't it? Rocky finished the Forever Friends event. Nice. Is this the last week for it? I can never remember. But I think it is, isn't it? Right, let's see. We also want some water lilies. We'll do the base game water lilies. And I'm thinking of putting them like right... Actually, you know, whoops, wrong button. Let's shrink them down and alt place them there. Yeah, that works. That definitely works. Bees, hey chat, left a nice bog log for you. Love it. And so that's the pond objects. We've got the fountain decorations, which I don't think I'm going to put anything that's here. I love this lofty leaf pond, though. Have you all seen this? Look how pretty this is. That is so beautiful, and it would be perfect for a woodland scene, but, you know, a fantasy woodland scene, but I'm not going to do it. I am, however, I do want to put this in. I just have to finagle it. Not that color, though. I don't want that color. There we go. Gotta, yeah, yeah. Oh, it's not gonna let me. I hate that I can't actually put it in the water. That just annoys the living daylights out of me. Maybe the small one would be best. There we go. Yeah, I can nestle it amongst the rocks there. And we've got a nice little waterfall feature. That's good. Ruck, you don't seem to have that base game woohoo bush. That's weird. You totally should do. Although you might need to do the hidden objects. It might be a hidden object because I always have that cheat on. So, yeah. I am tempted for now, just for now, I am going to put. I wish I could put that here. It's just too big. I'm going to put the Birth of Simus here. Just for now. And if I find a better fountain, then we'll move it. But for now, that fountain will work. Ruck, what's the cheat for that? It's bb.show hidden objects, all one word. So it's Control Shift C, bb.show hidden objects, like that. And then you also want bb.show live edit objects, like that. And then hit enter after you type each one in. You also might, in order to use it, you might need to turn cheats on, which is a bb.testing cheats true. So bb.testing cheats space true or space on if true doesn't work, and then do the other two cheats. Shaz, you gonna go get the dog's breakfast? No worries. Sim VIPs, how can you have the cheats always on? You can have, you can get mods. So like, if you use Twisted Mexie's Better Build Buy mod, and or Twisted Mexie's Tool mod, I think it's the Better Build Buy mod that allows that will have cheats on for you. It'll just turn it on automatically for you. But with me, anytime, if I don't have mods on, which I don't right now, then what I tend to do is I've got my Stream Deck. So I can just push two buttons and all of those cheats that I just mentioned are just automatically inputted for me. So, you know what? I'm thinking, and I am actually going to move those flowers over there. Because yeah, and these flowers here, because this is meant to be a path, and I know that we need, like grass and stuff, so that the path looks a bit overgrown, but I completely forgot that there we go. We don't want it to look too overgrown so that it looks completely blocked off. I think that will do for now. So, now here is... Rocky found it. Sweet. Okay, so here is the neat thing that I'm going to add. I'm going to add this bit last, so let me... But first, I want to add some of these effects. So, I want to add in... We want to add in dragonflies along the pond. Some tadpoles. I always do this. I want to add in some mosquitoes. You gotta have mosquitoes. The fireflies, I'm going to put all along wherever there's just an open patch of grass. And yes, I tend to put way too many fireflies in my lots. Pardon me, I just hiccuped. It's fine. But I tend to put way too many fireflies in my builds. But I love the fireflies. They're seriously just, it's so magical. And I just love them. So I just put like an absolute ton of them in my builds because they're pretty. So we are gonna put the gator in. We'll just put the crocodile right there. And these lights, okay? Now this is an unidentified submerged object. Now what I tend to do, if I want a spooky build, I will put these all over the place. Now what these do, I'm gonna put one here in the pond, and I'm going to put one here as well, just to show you. So if we go into live mode, it is nighttime, and I hit play, then eventually you should see a little glowing over here where I put it, and possibly over here as well. The problem is, it doesn't happen very often. Hold on, let me pause the games real quick and cheat the household decay. Because I don't want my test sim to die here. So, alter needs disable household decay. There we go. So yeah, if we look, eventually where I put them will glow. It is a very rare phenomenon, but we might be able to see it. SimVIPs, the Stream Deck I can use. You can use it for your PC without streaming. Yes, you can use it to. All it does is you program it in to do specific key presses, and it'll do it at a push of a button. You know, so yeah, you can have it like shut down your computer. Okay, there's a crocodile. Oh, there's the lights. There we go. You see right there. You got that light right there. So you notice that it's really low in the water, so it doesn't show up here on the ground. But what we can do is I can use the 9 key, and I can erase this. Go back into live mode, and if you do it just right, then the glow should appear either in the air or on the ground. And I kind of want it like hovering just above the ground. And I'm hoping that it works. Because sometimes if you don't put it in water, it doesn't work, and sometimes it does. I honestly have no idea why. Oh, there's the lights again underneath the surface of the water in the pond. Oh, there we are. There it is. Yes, it's working now. So you see how it's floating just above above the surface of the ground. So you got these glowing lights above the ground, which is pretty cool. So I like putting these like amongst trees to give it like a will-o'-the-wisp look, which is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna grab this, and we're gonna put some of these back here in amongst the trees, just to add like an ethereal, spooky glow back here. Oops, wrong one. terrain, water decor. There we go. Pool objects, pond effects. Unidentified submerged object. Yes. Phenomenon. Doot 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 doot. Phenomenon. Doot 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 doot. Sim VIPs, is this base game? I think so, yes. Anything that doesn't have an icon in the top left corner is typically a base game. So yeah, you should be able to use this if you only have base game. There we go. I'm not going to put too many of them. I'm only going to add 2. One over there and one in there. But hopefully it looks pretty good. Hold on, let me go back into live mode real quick so that disappears. Once there we go. Okay, fantastic. Augie, you're heading off now to start your stream. No worries. I hope you have a wonderful stream, Augie. Okay, so next, we want to do pool objects. And remember when I said that we were going to add fog machines and stuff like that? Now, there are actual fog machines that you can use in the game, but they typically use electricity. You can cheat. If you have Get Together, you can use these. The Bubbles Crack, the Unter Steamer, the Jumbo Bubbles Crack, the Big Bubbles and Steam Grate, and the Steam and Ornate. And you can put these around and they will make bubbles. Like in water. They're meant to be, you know, to like add bubbles for hot springs and stuff like that. But you can add these. You can hide them away, like shrink them down really small and hide them in amongst your plants. And you can have fog, a nice fog effect. And usually what I do is I'll pick, like, you know, a dirt color. Like I said, shrink it right down and hide it. So we'll hide that there. And I'm just going to add these here and there around the build, just to give us that nice, you know, a nice amount of fog. Rock, what about a Pogger effect? I mean, I think personally that Steam is pretty Pogger. You know, personally. And the fact that you can use these to create a Steam effect is, in my opinion, just seriously awesome. Or fog effect, rather. There's also, you know, the Halloween stuff that you can use. That also adds in different fog-like effects and all that wonderful stuff. Ah! Stop it! Stop it. There we go. But yeah, because these shrink down so small, you can seriously just hide them pretty much anywhere. Now the question is, do I want the fog to be just in the front, or do I want it to be all the way around the build? I'm thinking of, like, going ahead and having it all the way around the build. And once I go back into live mode, I'll be able to see exactly how foggy this is. So, and I'll be able to tell, you know, do I want to add more? Do I want to take away some? It'll probably be a case of, more than likely, I'll end up wanting to add more, but we'll see how it goes. Hide one there. Rock, speaking of fog, you found out why your game was so foggy. Your render distance was just automatically set to super low when you streamed. Ah, that makes sense, yeah. So your render distance was like basically nothing. That does make sense. Especially, you know, because your computer was, or the game was trying to make it to where you could stream and play the game at the same time. So yeah, I get it. All right, let's go into live mode and let's check the fog and see how much fog and bubble effects we've got. So you can see here, you can see the bubbles. But I don't... Oh, wow, that's a lot of bubbles. But I don't really see much fog effects yet. That is a lot of bubbles. Oh, yep, there's the mysterious light there in the trees. I think that's gonna be pretty good. We can also put some fog machines and cauldrons and stuff in. So I think that'll be good for that. You know, just to add a little bit more fog effects. So Rock, after you ended your stream, it was still on low, so you had to change it back to high. There's only 2 options, low and high, so it was like way more, yeah, way more extreme of vision loss than it should have been. Yeah, you would think that it would be like a middle ground, wouldn't you? But unfortunately, that doesn't always work. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna specifically filter. Actually, I'm gonna do show all. And I'm gonna specifically filter by packs next. So I want specifically things that are spooky. So I'm gonna start with seasons and see what I can find. And I'm just gonna go down and we're gonna try to find, you know, some spooky things. Like for example, do we want patchy? Patchy isn't exactly what I would call scary, so probably not. But these leaf piles, definitely. We definitely want some of these leaf piles around. Just... especially around the, you know, the autumnal style trees. So I will just put a few here and there. Those are all definitely not the right kind of... There we are. So yeah, we'll do that. Rock, they could have made it like Minecraft where it's a slider. Yeah, totally agree. Honestly, you wouldn't be surprised if there's a mod that that fiddles with the render distance. There might be. I mean, feel free to look. I don't know of any, but there might be something that messes around with that and helps you. Crazy to think that I've placed all of these plants and they weren't naturally on the lot. I know, right? Crazy to think this isn't a pre-built lot because it looks like something they would make. No. I can guarantee you that this could never be a pre-built lot. There's way too many items, way too many particle effects going on. I used alt placement. And yeah, this could never be a pre-built thing. You could get something similar that's not as heavy, you know, doesn't have as many items. But you wouldn't be able to get like for example, these flowers here that I alt placed up against the tree. You wouldn't be able to get that in a pre-built lot. How much is this lot worth right now? That is a good question. It is currently worth nearly 46,000 simoleons. And we're not finished with the outside, and we haven't even started on the inside yet. We do have these plastic pumpkins, which, you know, I am tempted, because it is Halloween, I am tempted to put a couple of these pumpkins around the, around this. Just a couple. There we go. Rock. Yeah, yep, only about 46K, and it'll don't worry. The price will go up quite a bit, yes, but once we add everything. So we've got these illuminating tombs. These are light up grave markers. So I'm definitely going to put these in. See how cute they are? And I'm thinking that we'll put them in this space here. Just right there, you know, nestled in amongst this big dead tree. Ruck, right now you could buy this lot just by having your sim work for a couple of weeks in game. Yeah, 100%. We've got these fashionable fall branches, which I might put a few down here and there. Nah. I think that's gonna be a little bit overboard. We don't want... Yeah, definitely not a good idea. We do have the pumpkin trio, though. That is very, very cute. So I'll put that there. Then we got the Webby Spider Home, right and left. And this is just a two-dimensional spider web that you're meant to put up on walls like this. And I am 100% putting this up here and there. So... not gonna put a ton of them up, but I do want to put a few just here and there. And the neat, if I'm remembering correctly, the neat thing about this is I think a spider actually every once in a while comes down and kind of dangles. I'm not gonna sit here and watch it though. That no one's got time to sit here and watch a spider web for you know. I do wish, whoops, that I could put it in the doorway, because that would be like real... Oh, I can. Nice. Okay, yeah, we'll put one in the doorway there. That's really cute. I think that'll work. That's fine for now. Rocky, bet the final thing would probably take a while, even with a fully maxed out career. For example, you know that being Mr. Solar System is about 5,000 simoleons per day, and that's only 3 days a week. 15,000 a week without any raises, but once you reach that level, they basically give you pay rises just for coming back to work. Wow. I haven't done that career in The Sims, to be honest. Haven't bothered with it. Let's see, what else do we have here? I don't want to put any, you know, any cute, super cutesy things like wreaths and such like, so we're going to ignore that. The candlelit fall leaves, we definitely have to put a few of these around. You know, just a couple here and there and amongst the flowers. just so that we can cause some fires. I mean, just so that we can, you know, show the path. Yes, that is totally what I mean. Totally not saying that we're gonna cause any fires or anything. Nah. I wouldn't. We wouldn't do fires. Honest. I wouldn't purposely put anything in the Sims that might cause fires. Would I do? No, I totally wouldn't do anything like that. I'm an innocent person. Wahahaha. Or am I? Anyway, yes. Bees, fire! Fire! Rock, how is a spider web on the front door cute? It is. It's just totally cute. 100%. Since when is a haunted mansion supposed to be cute? It's The Sims. Everything in The Sims is cute. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, so I'm changing out the mailbox as well. We're getting rid of this one, and we're putting this one in, and I want a... Oh, cool. I didn't realize there's a Pride mailbox. I want an autumnal or Halloween style. That one. Yes. That is the mailbox. That is the mailbox that we want. That is so... I love that. That is adorable. Yes, we gotta have that. Like, we want as many Sims to die on this lot as possible so we can add more and more Sims to haunt the mansion. So many that the lot will eventually be unplayable for how many ghosts there are. I mean, it already attracts ghosts because it's haunted. So, and spooky vibes. So, yeah, 100%. We are gonna get ghosts. Right, let's see. Life and Death is another one that has some weird things. So let's see. What kind of weird things are in Life and Death that will work for this lot? We've got the Whispering Wren Messenger statue. And I am definitely going to add that over here in these fake graves. Just right there. No one is going to notice it. No one will see it unless they zoom in and, you know, purposely look around. But it's fine. So we've got the Skygazer's Rest as well. This is basically a blanket. And I'm thinking that, you know, it will be good to have. I want something that... Yeah, that looks good. We'll put it here. Or maybe put it there, yeah. This will just give, you know, people a place to lounge and stuff. I am tempted to put the Crypt of Eternity on here. Should we put the crypt in? Should we include a crypt? I'm thinking maybe putting the crypt, like... I'm gonna have to zoom in. Like, putting the crypt, right here. Actually, let's put the crypt here. And then I can, like, push it almost completely off the lot. Oh, yeah, that's good. And then move that grass there. Perfect, okay. So we now have a crypt, bees. You'll be very happy to know that we now have a crypt. Rock, by the way, speaking of Sims randomly dying, you were playing on a save the other day where you had your Sim purchase a restaurant. One day while the restaurant was open and your Sim was walking around welcoming people, elderly couple comes in, sits down, takes an order, eats, and then both die right next to each other, right next to the entrance to the kitchen. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Because you guess because of because of them getting old, or your chefs are just that good. The food is to die for. Oh my god. Bees dead people shed. What the heck, bees? Oh jeez. Okay. What else can we have here? I'm thinking the artisan signboard, just to you know, as a way to say, hey, there's a rave going on here. I'm thinking that, oh yeah, that one. That's really cute. So we can put that there. I'm tempted to put more gravestones back here, to be honest with you. Maybe a few over here. So like we can have this grave importance headstone there, and the amalgamated one can go like there. I don't want to overdo it, but at the same time I want to overdo it. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. Now, once we go inside, I am 100% adding like a casket. You know, part of me wants to put a casket inside just because it would be hilarious. And I am very, very tempted with that. Okay, so these dreams of deconstruction, I would so put in. Actually, you know what? I think I can. I can like. Nah, I don't like it. I was gonna say I can put this on, but it doesn't look right because this is all stone, so we can put those inside, not outside. Rock, you kept the urns in your household inventory for a while until the next time one of your Sims' close friends died, then you put the urns in the cemetery. Surprisingly, even though 2 people literally collapsed and died in your restaurant, it wasn't shut down. Of course not, because people don't care in The Sims. But you did sell it not long after because you were overwhelmed by how much work it is to. Oh yeah, restaurants in The Sims, just so much work. It's just way too much work in my opinion. Shaz, it's gonna be 28 degrees tomorrow where you're at. Nice, very nice. Rocky, wish you'd been recording or streaming so you could have seen your reaction. I could see your reaction to them die. Sims, man, Sims. Totally 100%, just so much fun. Okay, so I am tempted as well to put these lights here. Just because, again, it's the whole, you know, yeah, it's the whole whatchamacallit thing. Rave, that's it. So I like the idea that there's going to be lights, you know, to show people, hey, here's where the rave is. So totally do that. The pole in the dark, I definitely want as well. That's going to go there. And then there we go. Perfect. And then this can actually be put right there. There we go. Shaz, it's going to be a gorgeous day tomorrow. It sounds like it. 28. Nice. You going to go outside and enjoy the nice warm temperatures? Let's see. What else do we have? Enchanted by nature? I don't think... Oh, wait. The mushrooms. Hold on. Do I need to turn hidden objects back on? There we go. Do I need to put mushrooms? I'm thinking the answer is yes. I'm really thinking that the answer is yes. Like, I know these are shelves, but I think they would look really, really nice. Like, over here, maybe. Like, coming out of some of these trees. Like that. I really like this. These are shelves in the game, but they're so cute. And they look so good coming out of the tree trunks. This is probably one of my new favorite things that I'm going to completely overuse in this game. I'm just saying. Rock, by this point, said Sim was Mr. Solar System plus 10 raises, was extremely rich, lived in a mansion with pretty much everything that you've got in the game on one lot. Completely multiple aspirations, had like 30 to 40 traits. Wow. Since you did so much with just that single sim, he never got married in his whole life. You eventually killed him off by bulldozing his mansion lot and drowning him in a pool while everyone came over to watch. As you do, as you do. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, jeez. Right, so let's see. We've got this gorgeous wisteria, and I am tempted to like have some of this wisteria growing along the house. Because it is really pretty. So maybe I do wish that there was like an old, you know, grody version of this, but unfortunately there isn't. But that's okay. It's quite all right. I also love how this all like kind of, you know, goes together. So I can completely go like nuts with all of this if I really wanted to, which of course I do. Because why wouldn't I want to go nuts, you know? Okay, the camera is not gonna like me very much right now, but I don't care. I seriously just don't care about about what the game thinks about me right now. It's all good. There we go. See, I think that looks really nice. Nice bit of trellis, you know, plants going up. I could go absolutely nuts on this, but I think I'm gonna leave it like that for now. And if we have time Friday night, I'll come back and do even more and just like go absolutely hog wild over it. But we'll have to see, you know, if we have time. Ruck, luckily for him, the sim finished his soul's journey, and you let him be reborn as a teenage sim, and who you haven't played with yet, you would have made him an infant, but you didn't feel like making a random household to take care of your reborn infant sim. That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. When you bulldoze his mansion, his household funds skyrocketed to like 560,000 simoleons. Dang. I like it. I like it. Right, what else can we do? I think for Enchanted by Nature, that's pretty much it. Adventure Awaits doesn't really have anything that's super grody or, you know, run down or anything. They do have all of the moths and butterflies, but I don't think I want to put moths and butterflies in this lot. Maybe the Grimm's Head Hawk Moth, because that is a little bit of a, you know, a spooky thing. So, whoops, let me just go down here. There we go. So I am thinking maybe putting the Grimm's Head Moth, like right there, so that they look like they're coming from the crypt. Just because, you know, it's a nice little touch, I think. So that's it for Adventure Awaits. Outdoor Retreat, again, there's not really going to be much that I can use from the Outdoor Retreat, at least not outside. Shaz, wow to the 560,000 household funds. Yeah, that's just a bit, isn't it? I think that, yeah, I'm not going to be able to use anything there. Vampires. Let's check out vampires. Oh yeah, we can use quite a bit from the vampires. So we've got all of these cobwebs and such that we can 100% use. So like, if I want to, can I embiggen that? Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize that these hanging cobwebs, you can only have them that one size. They do not size up, which is definitely interesting. I wonder why they don't size up. Odd. Very, very odd. But I do want to add, you know, cobwebs and spider webs just here and there. It's because I like the looks of it, and I think that some cobwebs and such definitely adds to the build. It makes it look a little bit spookier. So we're 100% adding in as much as we can here. And yes, I am like raising things up so that it looks like they're connected to trees and plants and all of that wonderful stuff. Just because, again, I like the idea and I think it's gonna look, I think it looks really nice. That's a corner cobweb. I don't want that. I will do the cobweb connection here in that window. And over here in this window. Actually, let's do that. No, that one. Is it gonna let me? No, it's not gonna let me. It's being mean. It's being mean. It's being so mean to me. Why? Why, game? Why are you being mean? Actually, that one doesn't look right in the window either. Gosh darn it, game. The game hates me. It does. It doesn't like me. It's fine. Stupid game. Raise it up, maybe. And yeah, we'll put that there. That would look really good. Oh, it's not gonna let me put it there. Oh, wait, it'll let me put it there. Nope, that doesn't look right. Can I put it, can I put it there? Please be nice. Please be nice. Let me just put it right there. Perfect. Okay, that works. That works. Rock, you saved the mansion with all your edits to your library. Nice. Good one. I'm gonna take a look at it. Not tonight, but I'll take a look at it later. You challenge yourself to make the lot cost as much as you could and have as much to do as possible without making any additional floors or moving around as little pre-existing furnishings as possible. Though you did sell some things, if and only if you had something more expensive to place it with. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That does make a lot of sense. Corner cobweb. We'll put that. I'm just like putting like all of the webs, you know? You're not gonna see any of these. Most people that are playing this, they're like, you're not gonna notice this. But I like the idea of it, you know? I like the idea of having like spider webs in the windows here, and cobwebs hanging from the porch, and little floor cobwebs, you know, like hanging out right here next to the door. No one is gonna notice any of this stuff. But I think it just adds to the build as a whole, personally. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Okay, so we got all these cracks. This is why I like the vampires pack, by the way. We've got all of these cracks, so I'm adding like as many of these cracks as I can, on just along the build here. This is where we start making the build look old and broken. And all of that wonderful stuff. And yes, I'm just gonna go whole hog on this and like just place them literally, these cracks and stuff literally all over the place. Not even paying attention really where they're going. They're just going. And again, it's literally just to make it look as run down as possible. Okay, so now I can start on this next crack. Again, all over. Don't care where it goes. They are literally just going on. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Is what this house is saying. If my name was Lisa, but it's not, so you know, it's fine. Right, let's move down to the next floor. Ruck, you'll put it on the gallery later and let me know when you do. Ah, sweet. Yes, please. Ruck, if they do notice, they're gonna be like, dang, there's a lot of detail in this. That's what I'm hoping for, is that, you know, people who do notice it, that they will notice it and be like, that's really cool looking. Because just looking at it, it's like, you probably don't think that there's a lot of detail in this. You know, as far as this little bitty tiny fine detail, you know, the cracks and everything. Because most people, it's very superficial. It's not that noticeable, you know? But it's there, and if you know it's there, then you see it. Bees, what a story, Mark. Yay! Someone got my reference. I take it you've seen you've seen that film then, have you, Bees? Just like once or twice. All right, we've got now the large vertical cracks. Hem, that's what she said. Sorry. Again, I'm not really, paying attention exactly to where I put these. I'm trying not to put... I'm trying to vary where I put them. And make sure that, the cracks aren't, like, all in the same place. But I am also not really paying that much attention to where they're going. I'm also trying to make them make a little bit of sense. So, maybe they start at a windowsill or something like that. Bees seen? Yes, many times, but you've also been on stage with Tommy himself. Seriously, Bees. Now that is an interesting little factoid. How did you end up getting on stage with Tommy Wiseau himself? Alright, let's see. We'll put that one there. This one can go there. Let's drop down. There is just so much going on with this house. I'm going to be surprised if people are going to be able to actually play in this house with everything that's that I put in this. Let's go there. Okay. I think that's enough cracks for now. Bees, you bought his exclusive merch. You and your best friend were the only two who put, out of 200 dedicated fans to be on stage with him. And this was before that moron Seth Rogen made a bad adaptation of Greg's book and took Tommy's spotlight. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'll agree with your Seth Rogen's a moron thing. I completely agree with that. Let's see, we got these large tears. And to be honest, I don't think they look right on stone. So I think we'll ignore that, as well as, like, these large holes. Actually, you know what? No. The large holes make sense inside more than outside. The water stains, though. These water stains we can 100% use. And again, I'm going whole hog with these stains. We're just, like, gonna put them pretty much everywhere, Again, not too much, but I do want them at least, one water stain on each area of the house, We definitely want people to see these stains. Let's see. Then we got the do I want these on yeah, we do. Let's do the large water stains next. And again, just, you know, not really paying too much attention to where I'm putting them. I don't want loads, but I don't want, you know, like just one or two either. And I especially want them up here along the rooftops to make it look like there's like a lot of water damage. Like the roof is very, very broken. And I'm purposely using the dark one because that looks like blood. Because there is no way that you'll be able to see the light one. So like this is the light one, and you can't even see that. So that's why I'm using the bloody version, just so that you can see it up against the stone. The chipping. Yeah, I think I'll put the medium chipping here and there, just because it makes it look again like the stone has chipped a little bit. Just, you know, around the house. And I will also do the small chipping probably. Actually, I think I'll leave the small chipping out and just do this medium. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. We do have more cracks. Is there any places where I've not put cracks? Yes, there is. By the way, these are all going inside the house as well. At some point, when we start doing the interior. Ruck, when you say Pogger like every 3 seconds for no reason. Pogger. 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 Then we got all of this ivy. Do I want... You know what? Yes, we do. We want to put ivy down. So let's start with the lush wall ivy down here. If the game will let me. It tends to not like it. It doesn't really like you putting the ivy if you have foundations. It just... yeah. Okay, fine, game. Fine. You're gonna be like that. I'll do a little bit of cheating later when I find what I'm looking for. So we'll do that. We'll put... Oh my gosh, Brittars! We have a flower raid. Oh my gosh, hello everyone. How are you all doing? Is everything okay? So hold on, we gotta check things out. Brittars, hello. How are you? Thank you so much for the raid. That is really awesome of you. Novellin, welcome in. Brittars, Maleficent, Banshee, Bunny, Warlock, Nurky, Hadart Gamer, wow. Really unique. Everything's doing great, Brittars. Oh, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. What were you doing tonight? If you don't mind me asking. Let me give you, whoops, a shout out. If I can get the shout out command to work. Are you gonna work for me tonight? Come on. Or am I just gonna have to do the normal, Twitch shout out? Yeah, we'll just have to do the Twitch shout out. There we go. You already did it. Oh, thank you, Rock. I appreciate that. Brittars, you were doing a haunted house build as well in The Sims. Oh, nice. A bit different for you since you usually do modern open light color builds. That is awesome. And Thikia, hello. How are you? You got back from your lurk to discover that you raided. Always happens, doesn't it? Bertars, it's such a fun challenge. Yes. So what kind of haunted house build did you do? And also, everyone from Bertar's channel, welcome to mine. Allow me to introduce myself real quick. I'm Muir Dragon, also known as Merely Sims, and I play The Sims. I normally do gameplay challenges live on stream, but one of my community members challenged me to do a Halloween build. So that is what I'm doing. And with a twist, we are making a abandoned, haunted manor house, British style manor house that is going to house an illegal rave. So we're kind of going whole hog on this, but this is so far what I've done. So we've got the entranceway. You've just caught me as you came in. You caught me putting up ivy along the walls. We've got some graveyards in there. We've got the crypt. We've got it all. We've got some unidentified spooky lights in amongst the trees here and there as well. I'm just going completely mad on this build, and I'm absolutely loving it. Bees, it was you. It was B. I'm sorry for the Fossabot deletion there, Bees. Banshee Bunny, Brittars, and Warlock, thank you all so much for the follow. Appreciate that. And Brittars, hard to explain. You just found an inspo pic online, kind of like the Charms house. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love that. I absolutely love it. And you like what I did with the roof? This is using with the well, why isn't it working? There we go. These holes and everything is from the Life and Death pack, I believe. This is like one of my favorite things that the Sims team have added, especially with the little fake under lighting that you get there when you move your mouse back and forth or move the camera back and forth. I absolutely love it. I use it way too much. Clumsy Guinea Pig, love the name. That looks amazing. Oh, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. It's 11 p.m. It is 11 p.m. Yeah, near enough. So, Banshee, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Have a good sleep. I completely understand, because most of y'all are probably from the UK, same as me. I understand it's really late, so if you do need to raid and run, I completely understand, but thank you so much. Brittars, you do need to raid and dash because it's almost midnight where you're at, and your alarm starts being real rude around 6:30. I really appreciate it, Brittars. Let me give you a follow back so that I can check out your stream at some point as well. There we go. You found me on the recommended feed. Oh, cool. That's awesome. So yeah, if you stream around this time of night, I will definitely catch you at some point. So I'm really looking forward to saying hello to you on your own channel as well. Again, thank you so much for the raid, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful sleeps. And I'm just gonna keep putting ivy on this wall. And as always, I don't pay attention to what I do when I'm putting stuff like this. I just like look over at the chat and just indiscriminately place things down. It's the best way to do with Ivy, isn't it? You know, you never know what is gonna happen with Ivy. I also have some brambles over here, so I am thinking of doing the small bramble cling, and all of that up to the top. Just to kind of give us a little bit of a mix and match thing going on. Clumsy, you were watching Brittars and Nurk, but you couldn't join the raid. Aw. I'm sorry to hear that, but I am glad that you came over anyway. Do appreciate that. Where's my roof? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, if I do the tiny bramble patch up to the rest of the roof here and kind of, there we go. We kind of get it to match up with the brambles on the roof. So, do you all remember when I said that I wasn't gonna go crazy on the overgrown brambles and wisteria and everything? I lied. I'm sorry. I completely lied, you know. Rock, you know what else I never know what'll happen with? What? Do tell. Now the question, ooh. I'm always tempted to use this. And you know what? I think I'm always tempted to use this in my builds. And I think this time I will. Just this once, I am going to use some of these hanging ferns and such in the build. I really wish they had a corner piece for that. There we go. Okay, that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. I don't want to overdo that. He says, knowing completely that he's completely overdone things. You know, as you do. I don't put too much stuff on my builds. No, not me. I never put too much stuff on my builds. I may have gone overboard with this, but you know what? I don't make these builds that often, and I think that I'm allowed. I think I'm allowed to go a bit overboard every so often. Guinea pig, do I have an inspiration picture for this? Yes. Yes, I do, but hold on. I'll bring it up for you. It's there it is. It's this. It's a real life photo. It is a real life house, and it is nicknamed Chaos Manor, and it is in Shrewsbury, UK. In Shropshire, to be exact. So yeah, it's based. This build that I'm making is very loosely based off of this. Obviously, I've taken a few liberties to make it look, you know, more rundown and a little bit less flat in The Sims, because flat builds just are boring and don't look right. But yeah, that's where I got the inspiration from, was Chaos Manor in Shrewsbury. Guinea pig, my build is so much better. You love that I'm making it more realistic. Oh, thank you very much. You're on an ad now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the ads, but they don't last very long, thankfully. Is there anything else that I can use here that's in Jungle Adventure? I'm thinking not. So let's X out of that. And check out werewolves real quick. Let's see if there's anything in werewolves. We do have the junk-filled bonfire. And I am really, really tempted to use this right here. because, it makes sense that there's, a bunch of junk that came from the house that's outside now. I'm also probably going to put one of these inside as well, to be honest. Welcome back from the ads over on Twitch, by the way. A lot of this stuff I'm going to be using inside, not out. The factory rubble I am going to place down. Just like here. Stupid foundations. I don't want like too much, rubble and stuff. So, but we can totally put that there. Like I said, just want to give this whole place a little bit more of a rundown look. Maybe put that like, oh, wait a minute, that's actually in the bush. We don't want it to go in the bush. There we are. Clumsy Guinea Pig, do I have all the packs? I do, yes. Every single pack, all the DLC that's in The Sims 4, I have. So going through and finding everything is an absolute blast in this game. So we do have the Cauldron of Lights show, which I'm thinking of putting there. Just so that we've got some ghosts. These pictures are 100% going to go inside. I've already got all of that. I could put these pumpkins here, which I think I'm going to do. Just raise and place. Clumsy Guinea Pig, you're jealous. It's very expensive. Getting all of the DLC for The Sims 4 is just so expensive. Sales. That's all I can say is just wait for sales. There we go. Let's get back down to the bottom here. Bees. You just straight up got a 90 style anti-drug PSA that ended with join. What? On as an ad? Seriously? Oh my gosh. That's just mad. Am I gonna... I might have to complain to Twitch about that. Don't be putting Trump ads on my channel. I mean, seriously, what the heck? Okay, there we are. We've got all the jack-o'-lanterns. Like I said, this is meant to be a Halloween thing as well. So I do want to put some proper Halloween stuff up. What else can we put on here? Clumsy Guinea Pig, thank you so much for the follow, my friend. I appreciate that. Paranormal. Whoops. I'm like, why is spooky stuff still showing up? That would be why. Again, paranormal stuff will go inside. Ooh, no, we can, oh yes. Yes, the occult markings. 100%. Put some of these occult markings around. Oh, yeah. I would put the debug ones around, but I don't have debug turned on right now, so... But yeah, we can definitely put some of these occult markings around here. Especially around, yes. And again, you know, they're gonna go inside as well, but we gotta put things in where we find them. Clumsy Guinea Pig, you love The Sims so much. Same. It's really the only type of, you know, the only game of its kind, isn't it? At least at the moment. Dead bees, Muir. So I wrote a complaint, big, beautiful complaint, the best complaint, believe me, bigly tremendous, huge. Oh my god, bees. So Guinea Pig, are you looking forward to trying Paralives when it comes out? I'm 100% going to buy it when it comes out in December. I cannot wait for it. It's going to be so good. All right, so Basement Treasures, yeah, that's going to be an indoor thing. What else do we have? We got the holiday. Nah, that's mostly Christmassy stuff. So I think we've pretty much put everything outside that I can right now. Here we go. Here's the fog machine. Sorry, I was wondering, I'm like, where the heck is this fog machine? We got the Party Starters fog machine. So yeah, I'm 100%. I'm going to add these just here and there. The only problem with the fog machine is I can't hide them. Because my sim needs to be able to turn them on. So I'm just gonna put them like here and there. And hope that my sim can reach them. I'm gonna try to hide them a little bit. You know, just as much as I can. But like I said, hide them behind things or right next to things. But yeah, I do need to make sure that my sim can actually get to them. So I'm thinking that that's probably going to be enough fog machines. Let me go into live mode. And I'll have my sim turn all of these on. Oh, there we go. There we go. It's already on. Aw, sweet. Oh, yeah, that. We need more. We need more fog. We definitely need more fog. I'm thinking we need one there. We need one there. One there. Yeah, yeah, we definitely need more. Okay. Let me add more. Let me add more fog. Gotta add more fog. Here we are. Guinea Pig, you want the yeah, Paralives. You got like 5 packs or so for The Sims 4. You're a student, so you have to save your money, yeah. But you want like all of them. Same. I think that, I mean, The Sims 4 has a lot of DLC. It has too much DLC in my opinion, but saying that, having said that, at the same time, almost all of the DLC in The Sims, at least in my opinion, adds so much to the world and what you can do with it. So like, for example, you know, we've got these fog machines that I'm putting around this build, and they just add so much. And it's like, I can put this fog machine like right here, so it'll look like fog is coming out of the crypt, and it's awesome. I just love all of this stuff that we can do in The Sims. Okay, now let's check. Let's see how much fog we've got now. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is seriously awesome. It's morning. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning in this game, but Can you imagine how cool this is going to look at night? I like it. I really like it. I could probably size these down, to be honest, so that they're more hidden. But I think we'll leave it for that for now. So it is really late. It's like after 11 o'clock here in the UK, and I did promise all of you at the beginning of the stream that we would read a couple of chapters from our public domain book that we've been reading. So for those of you who are new, by the way, I read every Monday night. I typically read 1 to 2 chapters from a public domain book, and we've been working through a book called Man in the Brown Suit by Agatha Christie, and we are in the final chapters. And I promised my regulars that we would finish this book this week. So we've got 4 chapters left. So I'm gonna go ahead. We'll read 2 chapters tonight, and we'll read 2 chapters on Friday. Guinea pig at night, it'll you think that all the fog and stuff will look so much better. Yes, same. But I think we're finished with the exterior of this build. I mean, we've got a lot going on here. You know, we've got all of these trees, and we've got you know, mushrooms growing out of some of the trees that I put in. We've got fireflies, just loads of spooky bubbles and spooky lights. We've got an alligator in the pond. Because why not? We've decorated a little bit for autumn and Halloween as well. And we've also put a sign here, you know, that's supposed to be saying, hey, there's a rave going on, Halloween rave tonight in this house. So looking, you know, that's gonna be fun. And then yeah, Friday, we are going to go into this house, and we're going to decorate it up and make it look, you know, decrepit and horrible inside and awesome at the same time. I'm really looking forward to it. So yes, we've got this is going to be the kitchen. We've got the entryway. We've got the dining room, the ballroom, and then up here is going to be another seating area and a couple of bedrooms. And of course, there's going to be a bathroom as well. You know, the bedrooms are probably going to be have en suites and all that wonderful stuff. So that is what we're going to do. And up here as well, this is going to be possibly some small bedrooms, storage, you know, attic space, servants' quarters, stuff like that. We got a lot to do, but we're going to do it on Friday. Opting also sometimes on Wednesday nights, like tonight, because it is Wednesday. Yes, tonight is totally Wednesday. We normally stream, by the way, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tonight's a special week because my schedule's all messed up, but it's good. Clumsy Guinea Pig, you would love to see the full house and everything. You're so excited. Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday night when we get into this and do the interior. I love the exterior of this. Seriously, this just looks really good. You know what? I'm gonna go into live mode and take a quick photo of this. Let me get it just right. There we go. Jeez, there's just so much going on. There is seriously just so much going on here. Dang. There we go. Okay, just a couple of photos. It's good. Bees, it's beautiful. You're dying for the second time. Because you're dead, bees. Ha, I got it. I got it. Okay, are we ready for our bedtime story hour? Not going to take an hour to read. It's only 2 chapters, but it's the story still has to stick, right? We gotta do the words. So, yes, Friday night. Don't forget, everyone, 8 p.m. UK time. We will be here on Friday to decorate this game, to finish this. You know what I mean, to finish the house. It's what I mean, not necessarily what I say. I think it makes sense. Okay, bedtime story. Man in the brown suit. Are we ready? We're going to keep the music going in the background while we read this. We're on chapter 33. For those of you who haven't been here for the entire story, please feel free to hang around. And if you are interested in reading this book in your own time, I will give the link because it is public domain. So I can give you the link there in the chat, and I will give you all the link and over on YouTube as well. Like I said, it is it's just a link to a PDF. It's public domain. It's from the from archive.org. So there you go. Okay. I did promise y'all, and that lasted a little bit longer than it should have, but I'm gonna keep my promise. So here we go. I gotta get the voice. I gotta get Anne Bedingfield's voice in. I was not summoned to Sir Eustace's presence until late in the afternoon. 11 o'clock tea and a substantial lunch had been served to me in my own apartment, and I felt fortified for further conflict. Sir Eustace was alone. He was walking up and down the room, and there was a gleam in his eye and a restlessness in his manner which did not escape me. He was exultant about something. There was a subtle change in his manner toward me. I have news for you. Your young man is on his way. He will be here in a few minutes. Moderate your transports. I have something more to say. You attempted to deceive me this morning. I warned you that you would be wise to stick to the truth, and up to a certain point you obeyed me. Then you ran off the rails. You attempted to make me believe that the diamonds were in Harry Rayburn's possession. At the time, I accepted your statement because it facilitated my task. The task of inducing you to decoy Harry Rayburn here. But, my dear Anne, the diamonds have been in my possession ever since I left the Falls, though I only discovered the fact yesterday. You know, I gasped. It may interest you to hear that it was Paget who gave the show away. He insisted on boring me with a long, pointless story about a wager and a tin of films. It didn't take me long to put two and two together. Mrs. Blair's distrust of Colonel Race, her agitation, her entreaty that I would take care of her souvenirs for her. The excellent Paget had already unfastened the cases through an excess of zeal. Before leaving the hotel, I simply transferred all the rolls of film to my own pocket. They are in the corner there. I admit I haven't had time to examine them yet, but I notice that one is of a totally different weight to the others, rattles in a peculiar fashion, and has evidently been stuck down with secatine, which will necessitate the use of a tin opener. The case seems clear, does it not? And now you see I have you both nicely in the trap. It's a pity you didn't take kindly to the idea of becoming Lady Peddler. I did not answer. I stood looking at him. Shaz, on that note, you're going to go and pay full attention to Augie's stream. No worries. I will probably go and give Augie a quick raid if he's still on when we finish. There was a sound of feet on the stairs. The door was flung open, and Harry Rayburn was hustled into the room between two men. Sir Eustace flung me a look of triumph. According to plan, he said softly, you amateurs will pit yourselves against professionals. What's the meaning of this? Cried Harry hoarsely. It means that you have walked into my parlour, said the spider to the fly, remarked Sir Eustace facetiously. My dear Rayburn, you are extraordinarily unlucky. You said I could come safely, Anne. Do not reproach her, my dear fellow. That note was written at my dictation, and the lady could not help herself. She would have been wiser not to write it, but I did not tell her so at the time. You followed her instructions, went to the curio shop, were taken through the secret passage from the back room, and found yourself in the hands of your enemies. Harry looked at me. I understood his glance and edged nearer to Sir Eustace. "Y- Yes," murmured the latter. "Decidedly, you are not lucky. This is, let me see, the third encounter." "You are right," said Harry. "This is the third encounter. Twice you have worsted me. Have you never heard that the third time the luck changes? This is my round. Cover him, Anne." I was all ready. In a flash, I had whipped the pistol out of my stocking and was holding it to his head. The two men guarding Harry sprang forward, but his voice stopped them. "Another step, and he dies. If they come any nearer, Anne, pull the trigger. Don't hesitate." "I shan't," I replied cheerfully. "I'm rather afraid of pulling it anyway." I think Sir Eustace shared my fears. He was certainly shaking like a jelly. "Stay where you are," he commanded, and the men stopped obediently. "Tell him to leave the room," said Harry. Sir Eustace gave the order, the men filed out, and Harry shot the bolt across the door behind them. "Now we can talk," he observed grimly, and coming across the room, he took the revolver out of my hand. Sir Eustace uttered a sigh of relief and wiped his forehead with a handkerchief. "I'm shockingly out of condition," he observed. "I think I must have a weak heart. I'm glad that revolver is in competent hands. I didn't trust Miss Anne with it. Well, my young friend, as you say, now we can talk. I'm willing to admit that you stole a march upon me. Where the devil that revolver came from, I don't know. I had the girl's luggage searched when she arrived. And where did you produce it from now? You hadn't got it on you a minute ago." "Yes, I had," I replied. "It was in my stocking." "I don't know enough about women. I ought to have studied them more," said Sir Eustace sadly. "I wonder if Paget would have known that." Harry rapped sharply on the table. "Don't play the fool. If it weren't for your grey hairs, I'd throw you out the window. You damned scoundrel. Grey hairs or no grey hairs, He advanced a step or two, and Sir Eustace skipped nimbly behind the table. "The young are always so violent," he said reproachfully. "Unable to use their brains, they rely solely on their muscles. Let us talk sense. For the moment you have the upper hand, but that state of affairs cannot continue. The house is full of my men. You are hopelessly outnumbered. Your momentary ascendancy has been gained by an accident." "Has it?" Something in Harry's voice, a grim raillery, seemed to attract Sir Eustace's attention. He stared at him. "Has it?" said Harry again. "Sit down, Sir Eustace, and listen to what I have to say." Still covering him with the revolver, he went on. "The cards are against you this time. To begin with, listen to that." That was a dull banging at the door below. There were shouts, oaths, and then a sound of firing. Sir Eustace paled. "What's that?" "Race and his people. You didn't know, did you, Sir Eustace, that Anne had an arrangement with me by which we should know whether communications from one to the other were genuine? Telegrams were to be signed Andy. Letters were to have the word and crossed out somewhere in them. Anne knew that your telegram was a fake. She came here of her own free will, walked deliberately into the snare in the hope that she might catch you in your own trap. Before leaving Kimberley, she wired both to me and to Race. Mrs. Blaird's been in communication with us ever since. I received the letter written at your dictation, which was just what I expected. I had already discussed the probabilities of a secret passage leading out of the curio shop with Race, and he had discovered the place where the exit was situated." There was a screaming, tearing sound, and a heavy explosion which shook the room. "They're shelling this part of the town. I must get you out of here, Anne." A bright light flared up. The house opposite was on fire. Sir Eustace had risen and was passing up and down. Harry kept him covered with the revolver. "So you see, Sir Eustace, the game is up. It was you yourself who very kindly provided us with the clue of your whereabouts. Race's men were watching the exit of the secret passage. In spite of the precautions you took, they were successful in following me here." Sir Eustace turned suddenly. "Very clever, very creditable, but I've still a word to say. If I've lost the trick, so have you. You'll never be able to bring the murder of Nadina home to me. I was in Marlow on that day. That's all you've got against me. No one can prove that I even knew the woman. But you knew her. You had a motive for killing her, and your record's against you. You're a thief, remember? A thief. There's one thing you don't know, perhaps. I've got the diamonds, and here goes With an incredibly swift movement, he stooped, swung up his arm, and threw. There was a tinkle of breaking glass as the object went through the window and disappeared into the blazing mass opposite. There goes your only hope of establishing your innocence over the Kimberly affair. And now we'll talk. I'll drive a bargain with you. You've got me cornered. Race will find all he needs in this house. There's a chance for me if I can get away. I'm done for if I stay, but so are you, young man. There's a skylight in the next room. A couple of minutes start, and I shall be all right. I've got one or two little arrangements already made. You let me out that way and give me a start, and I leave you a signed confession that I killed Nadina. Yes, Harry, I cried. Yes, yes, yes. He turned a stern face on me. No, Anne, 1,000 times no. You don't know what you're saying. I do. It solves everything. I'd never be able to look Race in the face again. I'll take my chance, but I'm damned if I'll let this slippery old fox get away. It's no good, Anne. I won't do it. Sir Eustace chuckled. He accepted defeat without the least emotion. Well, well, he remarked, you seem to have met your master, Anne, but I can assure you both that moral recessitude does not always pay. There was a crash of rending wood, and footsteps surged up the stairs. Harry drew back the bolt. Colonel Race was the first to enter the room. His face lit at the sight of us. You're safe, Anne. I was afraid. He turned to Sir Eustace. I've been after you for a long time, peddler, and at last I've got you. Everybody seems to have gone completely mad, declared Sir Eustace airily. These young people have been threatening me with revolvers and accusing me of the most shocking things. I don't know what it's all about. Don't you? It means that I found the Colonel. It means that on January 8th last, you were not at Cannes, but at Marlow. It means that when your tool, Madame Nadina, turned against you, you planned to do away with her, and at last we shall be able to bring the crime home to you. Indeed, and from whom did you get all this interesting information? From the man who is even now being looked for by the police. His evidence will be very valuable. We have other evidence. There is someone else who knew that Nadina was going to meet you at the Middle House. Sir Eustace looked surprised. Colonel Race made a gesture with his hands. Arthur Minks, alias the Reverend Edward Chichester, alias Miss Pettigrew, stepped forward. He was pale and nervous, but he spoke clearly enough. I saw Nadina in Paris the night before she went over to England. I was posing at the time as a Russian count. She told me of her purpose. I warned her, knowing what kind of man she had to deal with, but she did not take my advice. Afterwards, I thought I would have a try for the diamonds myself. In Johannesburg, Mr. Rayburn accosted me. He persuaded me to come over to his side. Sir Eustace looked at him. He said nothing, but Minks seemed visibly to wilt. Rats always leave a sinking ship, observed Sir Eustace. I don't care for rats. Sooner or later, I destroy vermin. There's just one thing I'd like to tell you, Sir Eustace, I remarked. That tin you threw out of the window didn't contain the diamonds. It had common pebbles in it. The diamonds are in a perfectly safe place. As a matter of fact, they're in the big giraffe's stomach. Suzanne hollowed it out, put the diamonds in with cotton wool so they wouldn't rattle, and plugged it up again. Sir Eustace looked at me for some time. His reply was characteristic. I did always hate that blinking giraffe, he said. It must have been instinct. Oh dear. Chapter 34. We were not able to return to Johannesburg that night. Opting told you there was a reason there were only 49 animals. Also ads. Yes. Thank you, Optin. I will wait for one moment while we continue with 34. Maybe they should have named this, instead of the man in the brown suit, maybe they should have named it the 49 animals. The 49 wooden animals, right? Let me know when the ads are finished, by the way. Also refreshing the music so it doesn't stop mid-chapter. Okay, I think we might be finished with the ads now. I'm showing 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Ad break is finished. Thank you all for hanging in there. Ad's done. Thank you, Optin. Chapter 34. We were not able to return to Johannesburg that night. The shells were coming over pretty fast, and I gathered that we were now more or less cut off, owing to the rebels having obtained possession of a new part of the suburbs. Our place of refuge was a farm, some 20 miles or so from Johannesburg, right out on the veld. I was dropping with fatigue. All the excitement and anxiety of the last 2 days had left me little better than a limp rag. I kept repeating to myself, without being able to believe it, that our troubles were really over. Harry and I were together, and we should never be separated again. Yet all through it I was conscious of some barrier between us, a constraint on his part, the reason of which I could not fathom. Sir Eustace had been driven off in an opposite direction, accompanied by a strong guard. He waved his hand airily to us on departing. I came out onto the step early on the following morning and looked across the veld in the direction of Johannesburg. I could see the great dumps glistening in the pale morning sunshine, and I could hear the low rumbling mutter of the guns. The revolution was not over yet. The farmer's wife came out and called me in to breakfast. She was a kind, motherly soul, and I was already very fond of her. Harry had gone out at dawn and had not yet returned, so she informed me. Again I felt a stir of uneasiness pass over me. What was the shadow of which I was so conscious between us? After breakfast I sat out on the step, a book in my hand which I did not read. I was so lost in my own thoughts that I never saw Colonel Race ride up and dismount from his horse. It was not until he said, "Good morning, Anne," that I became aware of his presence. "Oh," I said with a flush, "it's you." "Yes, may I sit down?" He drew up a chair beside me. It was the first time we had been alone together since that day at the Metapas. As always, I felt that curious mixture of fascination and fear that he never failed to inspire in me. "What is the news?" I asked. "Smuts will be in Johannesburg tomorrow. I give this outbreak 3 days more before it collapses utterly. In the meantime, the fighting goes on." "I wish," I said, "that one could be sure that the right people were the ones to get killed. I mean the ones who wanted to fight, not just all the poor people who happen to live in the parts where the fighting is going on." He nodded. "I know what you mean, Anne. That's the unfairness of war, but I've other news for you." "Yes?" "A confession of incompetency on my part. Peddler has managed to escape." "What?" "Yes, no one knows how he managed it. He was securely locked up for the night in an upper-story room of one of the farms roundabouts, which the military have taken over, but this morning the room was empty and the bird had flown." Secretly I was rather pleased. Never to this day have I been able to rid myself of a sneaking fondness for Sir Eustace. I dare say it's reprehensible, but there it is. I admired him. He was a thoroughgoing villain, I dare say, but he was a pleasant one. I've never met anyone half so amusing since. I concealed my feelings, of course. Naturally, Colonel Race would feel quite differently about it. He wanted Sir Eustace brought to justice. There was nothing very surprising in his escape when one came to think of it. All round Joburg, he must have innumerable spies and agents. And whatever Colonel Race might think, I was exceedingly doubtful that they would ever catch him. He probably had a well-planned line of retreat. Indeed, he had said as much to us. I expressed myself suitably, though in a rather lukewarm manner, and this conversation languished. Then Colonel Race asked suddenly for Harry. I told him that he had gone off at dawn, and I hadn't seen him this morning. "You understand, don't you, Anne, that apart from formalities, he is completely cleared. There are technicalities, of course, but Sir Eustace's guilt is well assured. There is nothing now to keep you apart." He said this without looking at me, in a slow, jerky voice. "I understand," I said gratefully. "And there is no reason why he should not at once resume his real name." "No, of course not." "You know his real name?" The question surprised me. "Of course I do. Harry Lucas." He did not answer, and something in the quality of his silence struck me as peculiar. "Anne, do you remember that, as we drove home for the Metapos that day, I told you that I knew what I had to do?" "Of course I remember." "I think I may fairly say I have done it. The man you loved is clear of suspicion." "Was that what you meant?" "Of course. I hung my head, ashamed of the baseless suspicion I had entertained. He spoke again in a thoughtful voice. When I was a mere youngster, I was in love with a girl who jilted me. After that, I thought only of my work. My career meant everything to me. Then I met you, Anne, and all that seemed worth nothing. But youth's call to youth. I've still got my work. I was silent. I suppose one can't really love two men at once, but you can feel like it. The magnetism of this man was very great. I looked at him suddenly. I think you'll go very far, I said dreamily. I think you've got a great career ahead of you. You'll be one of the world's big men. I felt as though I was uttering a prophecy. I shall be alone, though. All the people who do really big things are. You think so? I'm sure of it. He shook my hand and said in a low voice, I'd have rather have had the other. Then Harry came striding round the corner of the house. Colonel Race rose. Good morning, Lucas. For some reason, Harry flushed up to the roots of his hair. Yes, I said gaily, you must be known by your real name now. But Harry was still staring at Colonel Race. So you know, sir, he said at last. I never forget a face. I saw you once as a boy. What's all this about? I asked, puzzled, looking from one to the other. It seemed a conflict of wills between them. Race won. Harry turned slightly away. I suppose you're right, sir. Tell her my real name. And this isn't Harry Lucas. Harry Lucas was killed in the war. This is John Harold Idsley. Ooh. Can I get a dun dun dun, please? Very, very interesting. So Friday, we're gonna finish with chapters 35 and 36. Opting, thank you very much, Opting. And tie up the rest of the loose ends and find out what happens to our wonderful Anne Bedingfeld. Will she get her man, or will she settle for the second choice? I don't know. We're going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait and find out what exactly happens. And will Sir Eustace Pedley come to justice? That's another question. That I don't know the answer to that either. All right, my friends. Shall we wrap this up? I do want to say thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Brittars, thank you so much for the raid. We've had so much happening tonight. Brittars, thank you for the raid. Clumsy Guinea Pig, Banshee Bunny, and Brittars, thank you for the follow. Also, Warlock Full, thank you for the follow. Cold Night Chaos, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you all for the level 1 hype train. Rock, thank you for the bits. Sim VIPs, thank you for the bits. Augie, thank you for the bits as well. And Smilebringer for the resub. Wow, that's a lot of thanks for tonight. I really, really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all so much for being here. Friday night, every single one of you. We will be back 8 p.m. UK time and we are going to be doing the interior of our haunted mansion. I am so looking forward to it. And I think that we are going to go and raid Augie's gaming gang, who's playing Sinua's Saga, mainly because I did promise him that I would raid him tonight. So let's give Augie an awesome coffee raid. For those of you who are over on YouTube, if you want to join us in the raid, you can do so. Just click that link there and let them know that you are from Merely Sims YouTube channel. But yes, let's go and raid Augie. And I will see you all Friday with more Sims 4. And by the way, also as a reminder, please, if you are over on YouTube, please do like the live stream or the VOD if you're watching this after the live stream is finished, because as always, our live streams, every 4 likes equals £1 that I give to our charity of the year. So likes do matter a lot on YouTube. So thank you so much, and I will see you all, like I said, Friday. Take care. Bye.